Okay, we are live. Hello, smart lovers. Happy Smart Love Sundays. We are back. Super excited for the show today. Got some special guests coming. Great topic. We're really kicking off a new series. So I'm super excited about this series and I'm super excited about the guests that I have coming on today. Um, Let me just let me see, introduce our series here. Let me see, this is on the wrong. Let's see. Okay, so for the month of June, we are going to be focusing on uplifting and celebrating our men. Okay, so I'm introducing a new series titled Real Kings, They Not Like Us. All right. And we're going to be highlighting just just great men and just the great things that we love about our men and just uplifting men in all the positive ways that we can. I really want to focus on fathers leading up to Father's Day because fathers, they just, they don't feel like they get enough love, not like the mothers do on Mother's Day. So we want to uplift our fathers. And today we're going to start with a um, a show where we're going to highlight single dads. These are dads that have raised some great, phenomenal men. So we're going to hear about the challenges, their triumphs, all the things that they've learned along the way to get their sons to this point. So super excited about this topic, super excited about this series. So without further ado, I'm going to bring my first father and son duo to the stage. We got the Walkers. We got Marcus. Hey, Marcus.
You doing?
Great. And we got King Cam.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. I'm so excited to meet you. So, Cam, I don't know if you know this, but your dad is such a proud father. When I tell you, like, he brags on you every chance that he gets to the point where people are like, I got to meet this guy. Like, he's phenomenal. I need to meet this kid because what? You should be so happy and just feel so great that your father is so proud of you. How do you
I
feel
do, I
about
do.
it? You do?
Uh,
Okay.
of course, it's not too many, stand up African American dads out here. So to have one in my corner that backs me 100% in whatever I choose to do, it's a blessing.
I love that. I love that. Okay, so Cam, I know that you have a lot going on right now. Like I thought I had a lot going on. You got a lot going on. So I want you to tell us a little bit about all the great things you have going on.
Also, I believe two and a half weeks ago, I just graduated from St. Thomas University in Miami with my master's degree. So now that school's out the way, I can 100% focus on my boxing career. I'm now 1-0 as a professional boxer. Made my professional debut April 6th, I believe. It was a long awaited debut. Of course, I have the great Marcus Walker in my corner, of course, to lead me the way. But so now we're just looking for our next date for our fights and, just getting everything in order.
That is awesome. Okay, so I got some folks in the chat saying congratulations.
Thank you, thank you.
I think that wow, accomplishing your masters already. Like, how old are you?
24. Birthday is March 11th.
20. Oh man, you got me beat. 24. You got your masters. Wow, that is
Thank you, thank
dope.
you.
Wow. And what did you study? What is your master's in?
I received my master's in international business and I have my bachelor's in sports administration.
Boy, that is awesome. So proud of you. That is great.
Thank you,
That's a great
thank you.
accomplishment. Now, did you go all the way through, like, or did you do like a 5 year master's program? Like, how did that work?
So I went straight through. So I got my bachelor's in 4 years, and I took another 2 years and just received my master's. I wanted to take a break, but he told me not to. He's like, just get it all out the way. 'Cause he was telling me how some people, once they take that break, it's hard to adjust back to the school environment and the mindset of it. So he told me while I'm in school, just go ahead and get it out the way. So
That was some great advice. that yeah,
he
that
proved
was
he proved to be right.
wow. So Marcus, like, I mean, I already know I've already kind of indicated like how proud you are and how much you brag about your son, but like how proud are you that he got his master's at 24 with all that he has going on?
I'm um I'm more than proud of him. But it's something that I knew he could do. So he's very multifaceted. So, like I was telling him, he wanted to take a break, and I was just like, you're doing, well right now, and your mind, your body, your spirit, everything is in place, and you're moving along. You're making great grades. You're still in the gym, getting your practices in sparring and different things of that sort. So I was just like, hey, just stick it out, just finish it up. It's harder to go back, and since your mindset is there, you're basically designed for it. Just go ahead and finish it out, and then everything else will just fall in place. But I'm super proud of him. I mean, super happy, super proud, and like he's my perfect son. He's perfect to me. He's great.
Wow, that is dope. That's dope. So Cam, so being that you were a student athlete, and you are now, at kind of like the well, the not you're not the highest level of your career, but you're in the highest tier of
Mhm.
your athletic career as a boxer. Like how are you going to balance like that let me see, what's the question I want to ask? How are you going to balance like now, having you have your masters, you could go down, that path of, sports administration, business, or you could focus and put all your energy into your professional boxing career. How are you going to balance making that decision? Like how are you balancing it first? And then like, where what are you leaning towards? Like is
Um, so
the yeah, go
uh,
ahead.
so honestly, I know I wanted a degree just because some of the shows growing up, I was watching they were sports agents, things like that. So I knew I wanted to make some money in the ring and out the ring. So we're leaning towards starting our own promotion company, and of course I'm the face, but we're just gonna have Pops run the brand and everything because he has the business mindset. He's been an entrepreneur for almost my whole life, so we're gonna let him lead it that way. And I'm just gonna follow his lead. Of course, as long as I'm winning and I have the positive light on me, things like that, the business is gonna grow. So right now he's taking care of the business side, and he just wants me to focus on what I have to do in the ring. Of course, I'm still gonna have input on certain things of that nature, but majority of it, I'm a my full trust is in Pops. I know he's not gonna do anything to mess up, or he has my best interest. So I'm not really worried about anything else. That's somebody I can lean on and go worry about what I have to do alone inside the ring because I know he has outside of the ring taken care of.
That is very important. Okay, so Marcus, can you tell us a little bit about because you're starting an agency, right? The two of you have like a sports agency, or are you like a management?
Promotion. We're gonna do management and promoting. We're gonna start King Cam boxing promotions, King Cam Promotions, and that's on. We had a pretty big anticipated date, which is October 25th. We've been blessed. The university, St. Thomas University, that he graduated from, they're actually going to allow him to host a fight on campus. It'll be the first time in school history that they're going to allow, you know, an outside source to come in and hold a boxing event there. So So that's what we're going to put. Of course, he's going to use that business mind. He's going to use that degree, but we're going to focus it into his own business, his own brand, and
Mhm.
get that built. So yeah, he's going to use that degree and put it to good use.
That is an awesome plan. Like, so who came up with the plan? Because that sounds like something that every student athlete should do. Like whose idea was it to
I've
come up?
mapped it. I've been mapping him, kind of like mapping things out for him for years. Like I told him, like once we got into boxing, he wanted to box, and I was like, okay, this is something that I've always been into boxing, and I was like, okay, if it's something that you want to do, then we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it to the best of our ability. Um, he does understand you can play basketball, football, baseball, soccer. You do not play boxing. You just don't. You know, it's not that type of. It's not that
Okay.
type of thing, right? But he's he, once he got the ball rolling and things of that sort, it's part of his lifestyle, and that's and he's damn good at it. So that's it. That's the first thing. He's good at what he does. He's smart. He's pays attention to details. And it's just gonna grow from here. Like I said, it's gonna be. We're just moving forward. We're making fights. We're gonna fight good competition. We're gonna move him up the ranks. We're gonna move him up the right way. And like I said, our dream is we'll be fighting for a world title somewhere along the lines. So that's just watching him, live out his dream. Like, and I can actually have hands on and be there and grow with him and watch him learn and watch him achieve. And then even so, thus far, it's just been amazing.
Yes. Oh, this is wow. This is great. So, okay, so Cam, like, so like I told my son that about you and that you and your dad were coming on. So, like, I have a lot of the souffle members here watching. So, my son's crew, they call themselves souffle,
Mm.
and they have some student athletes, like my nephew Jalal, he's playing basketball in Cat. We have CP, he plays football over at Georgia Tech. So, what advice would you give student athletes who, you know, like struggle with, like, okay, how do I make um, the most of my college career, but still focus on my craft so that I can, you know, be prepared to play at the highest level of my sport.
Honestly, and I can say this with a smile, you got to have the right friends around you. Um, I have two friends, Kafili and Z, so they kind of kept me on track even with like my freshman year. I didn't have my car. He told me I couldn't bring my car to Miami right away. So a good friend of mine, Z, he started letting me borrow his car to drive 40, 50 minutes away to go work out. And then Saturdays, he's waking up at 7 a.m. on his day off to take me to go work out somewhere else. So just having the right friends around you that believe in you, just like you believe in yourself. We all had the same major, so it was pretty easy for us to all get along and bond over things. We're taking the same classes. So the right friends, that's the biggest thing because we don't go out, we don't drink, we don't smoke. So it's like we're around the right environment. We're steady holding everyone accountable for this grade, and just going from there. And as long as you have the right crew around you, the balance is gonna come. But they want to allow you to slack off in other areas. So
Mhm.
as long as you're determined and they see you're determined and they believe you can achieve NFL or NBA or whatever your dream is, then the sky's the limit.
I love that. I love that. Now, are these friends from like high school that you met in college or like both?
We met each other in yeah, we met each other in college. And what's crazy, the friend Z, he's actually from Jacksonville, where I graduated from. But we never knew each other until we got to the university. And I say within maybe started school in August. I say by October, he was letting me just take his car
Oh,
to just go
wow.
like, and then he started. I think the furthest he's driven me himself, maybe it was like 2 hours away, just to go spar at another gym, and then he drove them 2 hours back with me and recorded the footage for me so I could see where. So I was like, that's dope. That's love. I can't
That
ask for any
is
more. So
love.
that's love. So now I don't even consider him a friend anymore. That's a brother. So
Brother. Some brother.
yeah, he allowed me to do. I stayed with him for Christmas break one time. So it's his family treats me like I'm one of theirs, and my dad treats him like he's his. So it's not too much I can
Yeah.
ask of him.
Yeah. So, our thing is we're looking at with Z and Philly. I understand, that great young men as well. And I want to congratulate them on their bachelors and their masters as well. All of them stayed in school together and got their bachelors and their masters together.
Yes,
Um,
yes,
right. So
go.
yeah. So
Yes.
congratulations to
Shout out
them.
to the team.
But we're gonna follow the lead of like LeBron James and Maverick Carter, and we're gonna keep our family tight, keep the circle tight, because not only do they believe in Cam, um, I do understand what they bring to him as well. It's not just about him, but that brotherhood, that friendship, that like I said, that, and all of them made great grades while they were in there. There was no, you know, nobody really slacked off on the grades and things of that sort. So, like I said, they pushed one another, they held each other accountable, but also they see the big picture with Cam.
Mm,
And as your brothers, that's what they don't mind doing. They see you, they see him building something. And like you say,
mhm.
and then of course when this whole thing takes off, of course you got your team, you got your guys, but you got your soldiers with you right there along
Right.
the way. And that's what we're looking at building. And like I told him, even from the day when I told him after everything was done, I was like, about the fight and things, I'm figuring out ways, okay, we're gonna bring Z and Philly in on this, and like, hey, yeah, and just build it. I need their help just as much, now
Mm,
with handling things. So since we're focusing on the pro aspect, so like I said, it's always good to have good people around you, solid people around you. Your
sure.
nephews and others that are in college. Like I said, it's the frame of mind. Your people around you, it's your frame of mind. You're gonna miss out on a lot of things. Sometimes like when you want to go, it's not the best thing. Sometimes you're gonna miss out on some parties. You're gonna miss out on some clubbing. You're gonna, but you still, find a way to enjoy your college life. But you have to understand for yourself the big picture. What are you focused
Yeah.
on? What do you want to do? And if you're playing football, you got to focus in, and whatever position you're in, you want to be the best, and that takes that time. You put in you grind, and you put in the work, and it'll all pay off. Like I tell him, um, that's why we practice hard, because I say you practice how you fight, and if you're not practicing, it'll show in the ring. Trust me,
Yeah.
it'll show. We see it all the time. So, but no, like you say, the team, your friends, the people that are around
Sure.
you to help you focus, to that they still push you, they drive, they want to see you succeed and things of that sort. So just the same way as he backs them on certain things and things that they have going on in life. So they're a perfect little clique, man. The little crew is, they're young good guys. No problems or anything, just good young men.
That's dope. So, okay, so this question, it says for Marcus, but it's actually for Cam. Um, so you mentioned that you went to school in Jacksonville, and then but your core friends right now, you actually met them in college. So the question is, how did you how are you comfortable with meeting new people at college without conflicting with your friends from back home? And like, do you still have like, friends from back home that are, in your circle, or have you kind of outgrown them?
Honestly, so my friends from back in Jacksonville, things like that, we're just as close as ever. They come to Miami. When they come to Miami, they stay with me and Z, or they stay in my dorm room with my friends. We all go out together and things like that. So I make sure I have the all my friends. We pretty much have the same personalities. We want the most out of life, things like that. So we don't never butt heads or anything like that. So it's pretty easy. We all get along. They hang out with each other when I'm not around. So they're friends now too, I guess.
I love
That's
it.
it.
I love it. I love it. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, no more questions in the chat. Okay, so Cam, what what were some of the challenges that you faced, like growing up, with the single dad? And you can tell us the truth, like act like he's not here. Like
Ooh,
what
Ooh, no.
Woo,
Like,
I got some
what were
stories.
some of the
Oh,
challenges?
you got some stories. Wow.
Um,
He's never heard this from you. I'm sure he's never asked you. So, son, how was it having me as a dad? But
I need to hear this.
honestly, I would say the biggest thing is since it's just, male, him having to be play the mom role and the soft role and things like that, and still being the alpha male and things like that. So other than that, it was pretty easy after that. So him just yeah, just being mom sometimes, then switching back to dad and coach and things like that. So that's pretty much it. Nothing too crazy,
Yeah.
nothing
okay,
too major.
Right.
okay.
Yeah.
See, you
All
thought this
right.
would be
Why you
bad.
looking at him like that, Marcus? Like, what?
Well, no, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I mean, I gotta tell people look at the product that we're doing right now as watching him grow up. I have people watching him grow ever since he started boxing when he was young, and they followed him through his career, through high school, college, and things, the amateurs, and now to the professionals. And I'll be honest with
Mm-hmm.
you, I was like, I tell people all the time, he made my job easy. You know,
Mm,
I didn't, I never worry, like him, doing the wrong things, even running with the wrong people and things of that sort. So he's made it very easy for me to be a parent. That's the
okay.
first and foremost thing. So that's pretty easy. Um, Besides that, you just have to make sure you love on him. I still love on him. So my baby, I still love on him. Um, and like you say, plant having that balance with him and understanding, make sure you're nurturing, making sure the schoolwork's done. Um, but like I was raised by a single mom, so I ended up being a single dad. But he knows how he cooks, he cleans, he washes his clothes. I mean, so I was kind of like stern on him on that, and just making sure that you handle your responsibilities. And like my mom taught me that, hey, if you ever get to that point you're married or a woman's in your life, she's a bonus. I don't need anyone to cook. I don't need anyone to clean. I don't need anyone to do certain things because I was taught all of that. You know,
Mm,
we're trained to do that. She trained, like she says, she trained me, and that's one thing. Like I've trained him to um to stand on his own. I've trained him to be a decent human being. I've trained him to be smart. I've trained him, you know, how to walk that fine line. I trained him as a black man, like, okay, just facing certain challenges and things of sort that are out here. You're gonna have to debunk a few things. You're gonna have some people that just look at you a certain way just based on your color and who you are. So, you know, certain things you don't even have to worry about. Just know how to carry yourself. Uh, you always understand that you represent our name, you represent our family. And so even with him going to school, and I was like, okay, you way in Miami, but okay, you know, I I can get there, but so no, so but he's I never really worried about it. Like I said, I'd
mm,
be more worried about what the world to him versus him doing something to the world. So
mm.
so that's what I trained him to do. And like, growing up, just knowing the differences of understanding, which took me a little bit from being a coach and trainer to him to turning back into dad. So sometimes, I had to understand, I had some friends of mine that got on me, like, because, having to turn that off and turn that on, just like, okay, he's still a kid, even like 13, 14 years old, and they're sneaking little Debbie's and stuff. And I'm like, you got to make weight. And it's like, so it's like, all right, man, calm down, and learning to
Right.
turn that
He's a
off. And like,
kid.
he's still going to be a kid. He's still going to do certain things. And, he trains hard. And I'm like, all right, just I want you know what you got to do. So other than that, but that was probably our biggest thing as far as like bumping heads. And that was just something that I had to learn that he had to teach me.
Mm,
Yeah.
wow. Okay, so Marcus, so you mentioned that you were raised by a single mom. So was your dad present at all, or was it just all females that kind of raised you? Or did you have
Just
male role
I,
models as well?
I had male role models. I had it was just me and my I have an older sister and my mom grew up in College Park. And but I did have we had kind of like back then that village. So we lived in a cul-de-sac, so pretty much everyone that knows, everybody's kids are, the kids out there. We grew up in a time like, hey, you did something wrong, the neighbor whoop your butt, and then you turn around, you get a butt whooping by your mom, and you get them because the neighbor had to whoop you. So, um, but no, I've had strong, male role models in my life, things of that sort. My mom was always steadfast on like education and things of that sort, making sure that I knew certain pertinent things that life skills. You know how to cook, you know
Mhm.
how to clean, making sure that you know certain things. But the male influence came from different people in my life. So I've always been surrounded by good men, strong men, that you know took me under their wing. So it's been you know one of those things. But yeah, Cam's just been exemplary. I can't even say. I'm just like, yeah, he's been that guy. And that's what I was like, when you see him grow up, you see him watching it, like, yeah, he's that guy. That's what you want him to be. And you raise your children to be better than what you are. So, and I see that
Mhm.
he's just, yeah, surpass me, go. That's what you're supposed to do. And you continue to
Mhm.
walk a name, and as you grow, and later on down the line, your kids come, and hey, there's no excuse, because you know where it comes from, and you know the job that it entails. And I think when that time comes in life, I don't even have a thought in my mind that he's not going to be able to handle it, or won't be stupendous at it. He's gonna be great at it. I know, just like, but like I tell him, just get your career off the ground. Um, let's get settled in on this pro thing, and let's go from there. And everything else, like I say, we'll make sure everything else just falls in line for you. You know, and also just thinking about other things where we can use your degree, um, and go from there.
Yeah. I see him going far.
Oh
So
yeah.
so as a single dad, what were your biggest challenges? Because we hear about the challenges that single moms have. Is it the same? Is it different? Is it more is there
No,
more
I
resources? Like what
no,
was your
because I
experience?
mean, I think it's a mindset. I mean, being a parent's not hard. Like, you're not always gonna have the everything that you want. Everything is not gonna be peaches and cream. But at the end of the day, I was like, this is my child. This is my son. I'm his father, and I still have to be accountable for a lot of things. Um, you have to be responsible, and it's just the mindset. I think you're a parent. You know,
Hmm.
that's it. It's your mindset. And I hear people, parenting is not hard. It's not hard at all. It's not hard. And people, it's just if you're ready to do it. If you Do you want to do this job? So
Hmm.
but one thing about it that I did have Cam by the time I was 26 years old, military, college. So I was okay. I was ready. I could have a child. It wasn't anything surprising, like, oh, so no, I was ready. Um
Okay. You mean like
but the challenge,
financially,
yeah.
um,
So
mentally, you felt
right,
like, okay, I'm ready to be a parent. Okay.
right.
At
So
26, that's for a man, that's
yeah.
kind of early to, to grow up. 'Cause-
Well, no, I mean, yeah, but I mean, it was everything that I wanted. So, and
okay.
you take on that so-called challenge. But I think women, um I guess the roles that we play, the roles that we play, the roles that we do, your outlook on certain things. My main thing with him was just making sure that I nurture him enough. I show him enough love. You can't always be hard on him, but you love your child. I still kiss on
Yeah.
my son. I hug him. I give him a kiss every time we on the phone. I love you. So that's just the relationship that we have. Just trying to make sure. And I think all fathers, just you never stop loving on your child. You just never. Yeah,
Yeah.
older I get, the older he gets, he's gonna always hear. He knows, like, if anything, he know my dad got my back. My father loves me. And but it's like I said, it's been wonderful. It's a wonderful thing, and I think the mindset, like I said, the main thing about parenting is the mindset. Are you ready? Do you want to do it? At the end of the
Mhm.
day, we complain, oh yeah, he's gonna not clean up his room. You got stages and stuff but that just comes along with it. And I just think once you get to a certain point, you can't huff and puff about it. Just that's your job. you know, that's your job. So that comes along with it. Do what you got to do. You know.
Yep. Yes. Hey, Nip. So Nip is driving back from New Orleans. He's been hanging out. Uh, but I so that brings me to my next question. So at 26, most young men are turning up. They trying to get that passport stamped up. They
Hey,
they chasing this
hey,
girl, and you in Atlanta.
I was a Navy man, so I've traveled.
Oh,
I've traveled and turned up and wild out and yeah. So
okay.
you get to a point. It's like okay, you've done it at a young age. Even at 18, 19 years old, you've been places, partied, done what you need to do, have a good time, and so usually 26, it was like okay, yeah. I mean, you still have fun after 26. Now, still still have fun. So yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, because well, I just imagine that that's a sacrifice that you have to make, right? Because you can't just hop on the guy's trip to Brazil last minute. You can't just um, you know drive up to wherever for the football game. Like you got to make
Mhm.
arrangements, which that's something that um, that's like the dark side of like parenting. Like you can't
Well,
just
yeah,
move and
just pick up
like
and go. But I look at it this way. Look at the reward I have.
look at the
That
reward.
look at the reward I have. So that's how I view it. So I put the
And now
time
you
in, and
stay home.
oh yeah, I get up and go in a heartbeat. You know, I sure will. I get somewhere in a heartbeat. So, but yeah, I mean, even though I I started pulling surprise trips on him like his junior senior year, I was like, hey, I'll be back. I'm going on a cruise. He was like, what? I'll be back, and just go. I did that so it builds that trust with him that he understands that I trust him. So I'm gone. You do what you got to. Hey, you got to go to the gym, driving to school. So you do the things you have to do. So that responsibility, but also it kind of got me prepared for when he was gonna leave home. So I started
Mm,
preparing myself for that. Um,
okay.
oh yeah, it was tough. Oh my God, it was tough. So I hear people talk about the empty net syndrome and stuff, and like, when I dropped him off, it was like, I came back home and left my suitcase at the door. And honestly, I just stood in the living room for a minute, like, the hell do I do now? I was like, what do I do with life now? What happens?
Wow.
So yeah, it was one of those moments. I couldn't eat. I went day. I couldn't eat. I couldn't sleep. Yeah, but I had planned the trip. Though. I went to Hong Kong for like 2.5 weeks. So like a couple of days after I dropped them off, I was like, I got to get out of here.
Yeah.
But yeah, you go through that. It's like yeah, I went through that empty nest. And I was like, man, find yourself just sitting in his room. Sometimes you have to close his door because you're used to hearing whether he's on the Xbox with his friends back there that laughing, just joking around, and then it's not one of those things where like he's spending the night at a friend's house, or they're going out there, he's coming back. It's like when I walked back and I knew his presence was gone, and
Hmm.
I just remember it, and I knew it wasn't coming back. Going for the weekend or a night or something. So yeah, you have to prepare yourself, even as a man, but that's your child, and you're sending your child off into the world, and yeah, it is. It can be scary, but I know he's ready, because I trained him to be ready. Um, but yeah, it was one of those moments. I was like, boy, it was rough. Like you got to
Yeah.
eat something. I was like, yeah,
Yeah, so like when my son, when he went off to college, like, I mean, of course, like my daughter's still here. So I wasn't like, completely an empty nester, but like for me, like, of course, like I missed him, missed his presence, but it was like, I was like more like worried about, I think you had alluded to this earlier, like I'm not worried about like how he's going to be in the world or how he's going to treat the world, but how the world's going to treat him. You know
correct.
what I'm saying? So it's like I'm like, my son, he, 19 years old and Nashville, Tennessee, like I don't know, like, you know, like interactions with the police, interactions with, white people.
Right.
I don't know. I was just worried. I was just like, the worry that we all have for our, our young black males. Um,
Right.
so let's speak on that a little bit. Like, as far as, because you mentioned, you told him, you taught him, or you trained him on how to, like, interact with cops, and like, what lessons have you prepared him for dealing with the world that doesn't treat black men um the way they're supposed to be
To be
treated?
treated.
Like,
Yeah.
just
I mean, just
period.
kind of like find. I can tell people, I was like, just honestly find you kind of like a system that you run, just strictly for you. Like he alluded to as well. Cam alluded to his friends. Like he's known me like all his life, and it's just like I have certain friends. Got a small group of friends, but we're like damn like brothers. All of us. And they're like uncles to him and things of that sort. So that helps. That surrounding yourself with like-minded people, like-minded people that are on that same path that you're on, that same journey that you're on, as far as like his friends Z and Philly. And I can't speak, more highly about them as well, that you surround yourself, that you do understand, I make sure you used to watch certain things on the news, incidents that happen between young black men and black men with the police and things of that sort. Um, and you talk to him about how to handle himself, on how to,
Mm-hmm.
you just always be respectful, just understand, like I tell them, like, at the end of the day, as long as you get home, that's the biggest thing. As long as you get home, whether you're right, wrong, indifferent, as long as you get home, we can talk about it later. Sometimes I know people get an attitude and stuff and get like, you do not want to get an attitude with some cop on the side of the road and you back to like, no. So
Mm-hmm.
bite you to do what you got to do. Don't give them a reason. Just do what you're supposed to do, and we can. If something transpires, we can handle it later. Other than that, but I mean, he handles himself very well. He called me before he was on. He got pulled over. What do you do? Run a light or something? But then the cop was like, "Yeah, you in school?" End up talking about boxing and stuff, and then it just
Oh yeah,
end up.
yeah.
So that's but he has that kind of personality. Like he'll Uber eat sometime for extra money and things of that sort. And I mean, he just called me one day out of the blue. He was dropping food off at somebody. The guy, he just got to talking to me like, what are you doing? Like, I don't know what holiday. I don't know if it was 4th of July or something that. And he was like, "Oh, you're young. You're out working." He was like, "Everybody else out partying." He was telling him what he had to do. Guy had him was like, "Hey, call your dad." The guy had him call me. You know,
Wow.
so just to tell me like, "Hey, just this interaction with this young man, like, hey, he's focused. He's focused. He got a bright future and things of that sort." So when other people see that just by generally just speaking to you and taking a moment, then they understand and things of that sort. So yeah, I mean, you can give everybody the benefit of the doubt, you know, things of that sort. You can just be yourself. Like I tell him, just be yourself, be smart, be careful. But the good thing is, like, he's just never been the type that hung around like the wrong type. The character of the young man, even him through elementary school and high school, the young men that he befriended and they, became friends. I mean, they're just good young men, you know.
Mm.
Even I used to go to school all the time. So I was a active parent. So sometimes even them know I was there. I would work in the office sometimes and do other things. I'd come up there and check up on them and things. And other students, see me walking around or they know who I am. And but that's a good thing. Even even some of the not so good students in school, just you get some people's energy. He puts off good energy. And
Yeah, I
some
feel it.
people, yeah, and people know when they don't belong around you. They just know
Mm.
that, yeah, he'll, if they're negative energy, they might speak to him, but they know I'm not supposed to be even trying to hang with this guy. I can't even, it'll repel them. Just like this is energy. They know who he is, they speak, and things of that sort, but nobody, you know, anything crazy, as far as like drugs, alcohol and things of that sort. Some people just like he repels certain people. He'll draw you in, but they also know yeah, that's just he on the other side of the street over there, just like okay. It's good to go
Right.
speak to him and stuff, but and you make your presence known as a father. They see you around, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So like, hey, I'm not playing about my boy. He can handle his own, but I'm not playing about my boy. So,
Boy, yeah.
and they see you interact. You're you're in his life. That's the main thing. They see that you're in his life, and So other than that, it's everything's just been, like I said, just good. I have no complaints whatsoever.
Okay, Nip had a question for you from Necessary Unnecessary. Did you start off as a single dad?
Me and his mom was together. Um, we ended up splitting up, and at first I'm thinking like how this is normally goes. I'm like, okay, had the other house over here. I'm like, okay, I'm talking to him like how I'm explaining this to him, and like so it was like he was like, why I'm not coming with you? I was, he was like, why I'm not coming with you? I want to, and that was something that we spoke about. And now I do say this, I thank God so much that um his mom didn't, give me a problem. He has a older sister, but at that time, she was younger at the time. So it was like he was so, he was young and his sister was young. And he has two sisters that are older than him. So
Hmm.
the thing is with her, like when she speaks to people about it, his mom always say like, look, um, that boy just fine. With his dad, I know his dad loves him to death. I know his dad's gonna take care of him. I know his father, like I still see him. It's like, I see him in things. It's not like he just got him and just like, but no, I was like, but I know that's where he belongs.
Hmm.
And I have no doubt that, that young man's okay. He's gonna be just fine. So I know his
Yeah,
dad is not
shout
out here
out
running the street.
to mom. Yeah, shouts
Right.
like that. Yeah, that because it's hard. Oh my God, to let our babies, not like you just going to a stranger, but like how moms
Yeah.
are. We're very
But I
protective of
tell her like
our.
that's my baby too. I'm like, that's my baby too. But I was like,
I
but
know it's your
I
baby,
thank her.
too, but you
That's
ain't
my baby
perfect.
too, and I'm right, and I'm thankful. I'm thankful to her that,
Yeah,
like a lot do, she didn't give me a hard time. She didn't, you know,
yeah.
right. And I just thought that was so dope of her. Like I appreciate that. But then, like at the graduation there, she just came over, kind of laid her head on my shoulder, and she was like, "Look at our baby." I was like, "Yeah." And she was like, "Thank you." And that was the biggest thank you I damn near had in my life, besides from him. It's like,
Oh,
"Thank you," and I was like, "Yeah." So I was like, but I had to say thank you, thank you, because you gave me the opportunity to do this at the level that I wanted to do it at, and you trusted
yes,
me enough to do that. So shouts out to mom. Shout
yes,
out to her. Yeah, Miss Nicole
yeah.
Brown.
Shout out to
So
mom.
yeah,
That's yes, Miss Brown. That's
indeed,
amazing.
it is.
Yeah, and you all have like a good co-parenting relationship this whole time. Like it was never no,
No,
you
I mean it
know.
wasn't always peaches and cream, but
Okay,
yeah,
you
but
work through it.
I, at the end of the day, I got my boy. I, I say sometimes ain't nothing else to say. Okay, I got my son, and he's good. Like, hey, thank you. You know, that's all I can
Mhm.
say is I appreciate you. Thank you. And but no, over the years we've gotten better and stuff. So it's good. We're in a good place. But he
That's
grown
good.
now, so good. We can get out of our pockets a little bit.
Ah, well, now wait a minute.
You know, now wait a minute.
Wait a minute. Like all these degrees don't equate to dollars yet. Just
Yeah.
I'm
wait.
trying exactly. We here.
Okay.
We
Right.
here. We
No, we try.
here.
We make sure. And but definitely as things get closer for the event, of course we're gonna put some announcements out there and things of that sort. And yeah, even you and friends, hey, y'all better come down to Miami and check him out. Come on down there,
Yeah.
get some sun. It's in October, so you still get some nice warm weather down there. Come on down there
Oh yeah,
and support
it's
him.
hot year round.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. That
So,
I would love to come down and check that out.
oh yeah,
Okay,
that's going to
but
be a
before
major event.
yeah, but um before we let you go, because like oh my goodness, like this time is flying already. Like what? I want to touch on like what have you taught him about women? Okay, so I'm not gonna ask you yet, Marcus. I'm gonna go straight to
Okay.
Cam. Cam,
Oh,
Oh Lord.
what name one thing that your dad taught you about relationships and dealing with women that you have applied to because you're dating, right? You're in a relationship, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I heard about the great young lady that you're with. So yeah, so one piece of advice or the lesson that he taught you about women that you have applied? I know she's sitting right next to you. I forgot she's driving, but
Oh
but
no,
that has worked.
this was good. This was good. Whew, I would say, oh
Because he
man,
thinks he knows it all. When I talk to him, he could solve all the problems of the women if you ask him. I'm just saying.
oh, what's a good one?
Hmm.
Okay, so I'm just gonna go off what happened like my past relationship. Biggest thing he kept telling me was, if she did it once, she'll do it again. I didn't want to like
Mm,
believe it. I'm like, accidents or people change, things like that. He like,
mm,
son, I'm telling you, did it once,
mm,
she'll do it. And like me being who I am, like, oh no, dad, you don't know, and I was wrong. A couple more times it happened, and I was like, you know what, dad, you might have some knowledge on planet Earth. You might be
Yeah.
knowledgeable on some things. So that's
Oh
one of the
yeah.
biggest things.
that's a
Another thing
good
he's
one.
taught me, even though it doesn't relate just to women, but one of the biggest things he taught me, and it still holds dear to me. He like when people are mad or drunk, he's like 9 out of 10, it's the truth.
Mm,
Whether it's telling you how they feel or a story, mad person and a drunk person, 9 out of 10, always telling you the truth about how they
mm,
feel about X, Y, and Z because they're not controlling their emotions right now. So I was like, that's so once he told me that, and like in the middle of like heated arguments and things like that, it she'll say something, it always reverts back to me like, okay, that's really how you feel, or so things like that. It just sticks to
mm.
me.
Yeah.
Those are two good ones. Okay.
Yeah. I try to teach
See,
him, like
bad
I tell him
person and a
sometimes
drunk
even in
person always tell
arguments
the
with a
truth.
woman, I say you might win that argument, but you probably wish you didn't. So sometimes it's just like, hey, just right, let her have
Yeah,
it. You wish you didn't win it. So so sometimes it's just, but his girlfriend now, she's amazing. She
yeah,
has my
she's
vote.
amazing for me.
She's amazing. So she has, so I'm proud
Everyone
of him.
loves her.
I'm proud of her. And she's
Oh, we can't see
yep,
her, but
a king Cam, she the queen. So
hey,
Yeah,
Queen
I gotta,
Cam.
yeah, I gotta give a big shout out to her. 'Cause she made even like with boxing and things like that. We only been May, yeah, this May made it a full year we've been together. But as far as boxing and things like that, she made it easy for me. She made sure I eat right. I go work out. She'll work out with me to make sure I'm motivated. She done
right.
paid for hotels for me to go fight or booked a flight for us to go X, Y, and Z for a fight. So she's fully invested, and I owe her so much for that.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
she is,
amazing.
man. That's
That's
it.
amazing.
Yep, she sends
Now,
me. She makes sure she records, and I get a chance to see the footage and stuff. So she sends me footage, and it's just
Yeah,
she got his back. She's in his wheelhouse, and like I tell you, like I tell him, like always think about, is she good to you or is she good for you? And if it's both, then
mm,
you got a winner. You know.
yeah,
So
I
yeah,
got to write that one down. Is she good to
to
you,
you or is she good for you?
or is she good for you? Now, did you two meet in college? Now, I'm gonna have to bring you back on, just the two of you, at some point. I
okay.
want because I want like young love, like oh, it's just so pure and it's just so
Yeah,
amazing. And I just love talking to young people and love. And so yeah, I'm gonna bring
okay.
you two back at another time. But yeah,
Definitely.
so you get some of these young couples some advice.
Oh
Okay.
yeah,
She good for you.
definitely.
Okay, so so Marcus, any advice for love out there for some of these young men that are watching? Because I said like you, when we have our conversations, like you have solved the problem between the black
I just
man and the black woman. So I know you got some more nuggets in there that you want to drop.
what? Well, no, I just think with that, for young love, I just like an old school saying is like, that grass isn't always greener on the other side. And
Mm,
people have to understand, um, when you meet someone that's good, and nowadays, not a lot of good people just running around. You don't run into certain things or certain people as far as like falling in love. If somebody has your back, if they have your back, if they're showing you that they care, are they looking out for you just as much as you're looking out for them, then yeah, it's you gotta you I mean, I would hope that they would understand that. Yeah, this, I know being young you might figure like it comes around so much, but it, as you get older and you just, next thing you know, like you'll be 27, 28, and you just realize that it doesn't. And things are gonna take work. Everything is not gonna be, like you say, just nice. You're gonna get on her nerves, she gonna get on your nerves sometimes. It's not the
Mhm.
end of the world. So that's the thing: is she good for you or is she good to you? So you keep that in mind. That the fact is that, and people always tend to think that they can always find somebody else. That somebody's always replaceable.
Mm.
Mhm. That's the thing. People are so quick because you can get online and, oh, she's beautiful. Yeah, she's this. Yeah, she's fine. But at the end of the day, that she could not be about anything on the inside. Just like some
Mm.
males, you got to, young ladies got to understand as well too, that is he good for you? Is he good to you? And if he's good
Yep.
to you and good for you, quit thinking because you cute and you hot right now. There's a whole bunch of them. It's some guys lined up, but they lined up for the wrong thing. So you got to keep
Mm.
that in mind. They lined up for the wrong thing. But does he have your best interest at heart? Does he try to show you different things? Like you said, does he, you know, provide certain things from you? And it doesn't necessarily have to be just financial. Does he, how does he treat you as a young lady? How does he treat you? Does he put you first? Does he, you know, um, any small things? I look at him like, like Maddie's tire went out on the other day. Hey, hey, get over there and do your job. And that's how I view it. Go do your job, and okay, get off the phone with me. Right? I know it's hot. It's hot. So yeah, still got to do it.
Right.
You know, right? So
Yeah,
it's just
I love that.
people just working together. People just need to learn more, even in the young love, working together and understand that it ain't a lot of good people just running around out here. It's not. So when you get somebody good, hey, hold on to them and just work through it. You know, even our
Hmm.
age, we got to learn that too. You work through things, you get through some stuff, and and it'll make things better.
I believe wholeheartedly in that. So, Cam, have you and your father had the birds and the bees talk? Do you has he told you do not get a woman pregnant before you win your first fight? Like what has he said to you when it comes to like
Uh,
protecting yourself and things like that? Or have y'all had that talk?
I mean, I wouldn't say we just sat down and had a talk about it. It was just one of those things like, take care of you first. And how he tried to word it so many times, he was like, experience life first. He like, once you
Mm,
have a kid, he's like, it's no longer about what you just want. You have to think about and what's best for the child. So you just, like you
mm,
stated earlier, you just can't go out and travel, do X, Y, and Z. So he was just saying like, experience all you want to out of life first before you then, you have to start making your sacrifices and putting others ahead of you.
Right.
I
A
love
nice long
that.
life for that. Nice long life for that. Just put
Got
it
a
on
nice long
hold and yep, put it on hold and just get your dreams and stuff going and make your money. And I don't have to buy no diapers.
life.
Yeah.
Right. And just spoil them and go on back with your daddy. That's it.
Ooh, you dropping them off right at granddad's house.
Mm-mm.
Right, you
No.
get
Hmm.
a whole nother child to raise. Come
Exactly.
on,
No more
Marcus.
empty nest.
Man,
Uh-huh.
hey,
Just like me too.
you just buy them. Hey, I just buy them all the toys that make all the noise and light up and just send them home. Like, all right.
We're gonna leave him at your house. You only play with
But
them when
yeah,
you with him.
but yeah, but but
Yeah.
he's always had a level head on his shoulders. Um, and like I say, hey, you better learn from some of daddy mistakes too. You see this, you see what, hey, so learn. Don't be like, hey, sometimes words can say, but sometimes you see an example, like, all right, and
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
hey,
yeah.
I know how this can go, or I'd be like, hey, I can be better at this, and so yeah, learn from my mistakes, misfortunes, and things of that sort. But that's it. I'm here to be an example.
Yep, that and
Yep.
I think that when it comes to like lessons that our children learn, like I feel like it's maybe 40% of what we say and 60% of like being the example, right? Like he's he's watching you. Like even like, things that, we might think our children are not observant of or, not paying attention to.
Right.
It's definitely, shapes, who they are and who they're going to become. So yeah, you got to be the best example that you could be. And even if you do make mistakes, being able to have that relationship, with your child where you can,
Right.
hey, be vulnerable in that moment. Hey, your daddy made a mistake.
Yeah, daddy
You
done
know,
effed up. It's all good. No other way to
daddy,
put it. Like, right. No other way to put it. You see it. No. Okay. But yeah.
yeah, so having that type of relationship where you can talk to him and kind of
That's it. So yeah.
that's great. Okay, so what's coming next? So we got so you're done with school. You're not trying to go back for a PhD or nothing, are you? Or
No, I don't want to sit in the classroom, the syllabus, some paper, pen. I'm over it. I don't want to see no more of it.
I already asked him. So I got
It's,
he was like,
it's
no.
over. It's over and done with.
Maybe
okay,
later. He might go back later on. Dr. Cam.
so Dr. Can or because like if you want to be a sports agent, do you have to have a law degree too? A MBA and a law degree?
They just require you to take some of the law classes just to read, start getting familiar with the contracts and things like that, some of the terms that they use in the contracts and things of that nature. But a lot of sports
Okay.
agents don't have law degrees. What they'll do, they'll just hire a lawyer under
Oh.
Are you going out?
them. But so I believe,
You in a
hear
bad
me now?
area. Okay, there you go.
Yeah. You said hire a lawyer under
Yeah, they
you,
were just
and then
saying.
that's going.
Yeah, a lot of them they hire lawyers under them, so they're the face of the brand. They get the contracts, things of that nature, they negotiate them. But then when it comes to like the legal terms and things like that, they just have their lawyer, whoever's in their pocket or they're paying, things like that, take a look at it, make sure everything is copacetic, and they go from there.
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting to know. Yeah, because I know like my son, he's interested in going to law school, and he, big sports fanatic, and so I'm,
Mm-hmm.
hey, agent, that's where you need to go.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
One at least one of the 13 of Souffle gonna make it to the league. They gonna need, an agent, a entertainment lawyer, something,
Um,
go in that direction. But
yeah.
and it's interesting that you actually got your master's in international business, because that is like exactly what I was telling my son that he should at least take up maybe as a minor. So what do you feel? Because like I know for me, like with my bachelor's, I was like, okay, yeah, I learned all these things. Am I going to apply this to in the real world? Let's see. I don't know. And then, but when I got into my master's, like, I got my MBA as well. And like, I definitely saw it, translating into a corporate world. But what do you feel like, that you learned in your international business studies that is preparing you for, what is it, Cam Production? What's the name of your
Oh, King
company?
Cam
King
Promotions.
Cam promotion. Yeah, King
King
Cam
Cam
promotion.
Promotions.
So the biggest thing being that we wanted to get boxers and then eventually branch off of boxers and go to soccer, uh, other sports, things like that. I wanted to learn about other countries, other cultures, their taxes and things like that. Just everyday life. So I'm not just going over there trying to capitalize off somebody's talent and things like that. I'm actually going over, learning the language, learning X, Y, and Z, just to get better familiar instead of just that money hungry person. Give them somebody they can relate to, somebody that gives back to their country also, and things of that nature.
Yeah, because I was telling them it's going to be big. And then, of course, here in the States, you have a lot of talent that ends up going overseas. So, basketball players, they go overseas and play football, soccer, things of that sort. So, you have the minor league teams and things of that sort. So, I just told them that international business would be a huge asset to have, you know, on your resume there, um, because not everybody makes it here in the States. So,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah.
Yeah, I'm planning a mass exodus myself.
Yeah,
Where
a
should
lot
we
of people
go,
talking.
Donna?
A lot of people talking about it. Like, hey, so yeah, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this has been great. I really, really appreciate the two of you giving us your time, your story. Um, yeah, like just, Cam, you're just a great example for young men, especially those that, are pursuing careers in sports. Like, you don't just have a plan A, you got a plan A. It seems like you got a plan B. You might have a plan C and you got a plan D, which is your daddy riding for you
Hmm.
to make sure all the plans come together. I mean, you can't
Yeah,
lose.
that's
Yeah,
it.
I'm fortunate,
Yes, you
blessed.
are. Yes, you are. So, any final thoughts? I'll start with you, Cam. Any advice you want to give young men on anything, whether it's, sports, relationships,
It all.
just
My
anything. Just
biggest piece of advice was just have the right crew. Because even the same friends I told you about earlier, when I was going through X, Y, and Z in their relationship, they was like, "Cam, leave, Cam." So it all goes back to the right friends.
Yep.
They have your back. So, and trust them, because if they really have your back, they're not gonna tell you nothing wrong. Just to big up themselves. So
Right.
having the right friends, it can work wonders for you.
Yeah, absolutely. And like, I mean, but how do you know you have the right friends? Like, what do they bring to the table that you're like, you know what? This is someone that belongs in the circle versus this is someone we're going to keep on the outside of the circle.
Biggest thing, just one, you guys all have you share the same mindset. Um, that's one of the biggest things. You guys are dedicated to something legal. You want the
Right.
best out of life, family oriented, things like
Disclaimer.
that. Yeah, you, yeah, legally you dedicated to some things. They have their head on straight. You see, they got a good relationship with their parents, grandparents, things like that, and they share the same interests as you. They
Hmm.
don't have to necessarily share 100% of what you like, but whether you got y'all can sit down and talk about sports, you can sit down and talk about school, but you have some common ground with each other.
Right.
Absolutely. And
Right.
and Marcus, like, was it important for you that, Cam, like, hung around people who, had solid family foundation? Because like sometimes, because I'll use my son's friends for example. Like I'm close with all them. Like I know we have a village of moms and dads that, like I know we have similar mindsets. So I know that what is being passed down to the children. So
Correct.
what I'm saying. Like I know I pretty much know his circle, the values and things like that. So was that important for you as well, like with the parents
Oh,
and
yeah,
stuff?
of course. Just getting to know like any of his friends, like if they were, coming over for the weekend or we're gonna go do something, I always made sure I had a relationship with with the child's parents. of course. Um, Even sometimes if I'm gone, he was like, "Hey, can so and so come over and come over for the weekend and hang out and things?" And they just, regular guy stuff. I might be out the country. I say, but hey, have them call me. They know like, hey, I'm not there. But they good kids. So good parents and things, good stock. And sometimes they be like, hey, they'll drop by, just stop by there and holler at them. So you can swing by anytime you want to. But you know, it's just about being a good judge of character. He's a real good judge of character on that person. And sometimes, like I say, good people can come from anywhere. I've seen some people come from some bad situations, but they're just good people. You know, and so it's just about, because at some point in time, not everybody has a great family life or didn't grow up in a certain thing. But when you get to a certain point in life, you have to know what works for you and what you want, and you can make those decisions for yourself on how you want things to go. Um, who you want around, I can be like, hey, this person's great for you, but then you may not feel it. So
Right.
being a good judge of character and things, that's what I think weighs heavy. Also understand where they come from, what interests you have, and like my grandma used to say, even in relationships, whether it's friendships, girlfriends, and things of that sort, and you always ask, and you ask somebody like, not a lot of people when you get to that level, like, what do you want from me? And if they say nothing, then I don't. Everybody wants something. Are you gonna be honest? If it's just like, hey, I'm just gonna be cool, we cool. I like where you're headed, but I'm saying, who hang around people that just say nothing, wants nothing? Why are you
Mm.
around? So okay, so are you gonna be honest? I think everybody should
Okay.
ask, like, what do you want? What do you want from me? What do you expect from me? Because you do it. Somebody say nothing, nah, so character. Like I say,
Okay.
character, understanding you're being a good judge of character and things. And like I say, good people can come from anywhere, and like I say, it's your circle. So at the end of the day, these are the people that you're entrusting. Certain things that they know about you. You're entrusting certain things with them. That's your circle. Now, sometimes, not saying in his case that he's had anybody, but I might not see the vision that he sees. On that end, I can be like, no, and he can be like, no, Dad, you don't know, because I don't know him on that level. So
Right.
I can be looking at it like, but he knows better than I do, and that's when you understand, like, the rearing and the training of him, that okay, I might not be able to see this, but he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's talking about. So that's when my trust comes into him
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day. So yeah. So we just just look at it, like I say, judge the character, um, and just like I say, keep solid people around you, people that you can talk to on different levels about different things. You know,
You're right.
so that's a good one.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, well that was Cam's. So Marcus, I need yours. So what is your advice for these young men out here? I remember you and I had a conversation about like what was it? Was it husband school? No, it wasn't husband school. Man school or something
Oh,
where
it's kind of
like
like a class, like teaching. Yeah, just like you need something like a little, kind of like a camp. You know, and I think it's needed nowadays for just teaching. Tying ties, and just certain things that I think people should know. How to put on your
mm,
cologne. Just certain stuff that you should. Just like different little things. Can you change a tire? Can you know, look, just look, like you say, little nuggets and things that pretty much just should be basic. You know, for a
okay.
young man, it should just be basic for him to know certain things first and
Okay, so
foremost.
let's break down the list because I don't think it is basic these days.
Right, that's the thing. It's certain
So
things that should be basic, but it's not.
I know it's not. It's not.
Right.
So what are things that young men need to know in like just I mean, yes, like change a tire, like but yeah, like let's list some because
Okay.
I
Like that. Well, first of all, as a young black male, you got to understand that you're different. When you walk in these streets, you're different. When you're dealing with other people, police and things, that you're different. You have to understand that. Like, just that's one of the bases that we have to teach it now. Um, again, like I say, tie, change the tire, basic tools and basic things that can be done, whether it's on a car or around the house. Just the basics, the um certain things to kind of get. you be understand like these young men nowadays, once they learn something, once they see that someone actually, can excuse my French, gives a damn, that you see a change in them. I've got some kids that I deal with that come from other side of the tracks and stuff, but it's just like once they see someone that cares, someone that's giving them advice, that's trying to help, they don't mind calling and asking and things of that sort. Um, One of the key things, though, I think, is that's a lot of stuff that our women need to learn because you have these boys. My
Yep.
mom taught me to tie. My mom, even though I had enough, my mom taught me to tie a tie. So it's just certain things that, yeah, you have the kids, you have the boys, and they're with you most of the time. It depends on what's going on between. So it's certain things that is your responsibility.
Yeah.
And if you're sending them out here unprepared or ill prepared, that's a representation. you know. So it's some things that you might have to learn. Even as a man, it was like with certain things, like I don't look at cooking or cleaning like it's a woman's job or anything, but it's just like, okay, I needed to make sure that I was on point about certain things, so I'm not sending him out there ill prepared in the world. Like, okay, so something that I have to learn, just like, okay, then let me learn that. If it's something that I know I have to be more mindful of what I don't naturally bring to the table or supposedly give off, that since his mom and that he may be missing. So I have to think outside the box as well to
Mhm.
make sure that he's whole. So I'm not gonna just teach him guy stuff and then you're out here and it's everything else, you could be taken advantage of on. So no, it's just certain things that I had to learn, like the nurturing thing. It's like, yeah, I just made sure, like, okay, I love him, why wouldn't I nurture him?
Mm.
Like people be thinking like, okay, I remember days like even a teenager like sitting there, we sitting on the sofa, hey, sit up there, hey, lay on my shoulder, man. Like, okay, we'll watch some TV, but yeah, that's you have your child understanding that, hey, that he's trying to do the best that he can as far as like making me a solid individual
Mhm.
on all facets and all ends, and of course, like certain things you're not great at, but you get it. You the attempt, is there. I may not know how to do certain things or that energy just puts off. Like it's coming from a woman, that women just exude a certain energy that, you know, that you just have.
Right.
And it's a lot that I can't give it to them, because I don't produce that type of energy. But I can produce that type of mannerism. I can produce that type of um, way of speaking and letting you know how this should go, um,
Mhm.
or how you should walk this line, and things of that sort. So I think on that whole thing, it's a give and take thing. I think our women have to take on more of that responsibility as well. And I know you guys have a lot on your plate, like, but even as a parent, it doesn't matter, man. You're a parent, so, and it's just certain things that you should want your child to know. And if you if you can't do it, like my mom always said, I told my mom, I was like, my mom set me up to win.
Mm.
That's so. How do you? I mean, either you can learn this, mom, and other than that, but you put people in place in your child's life, in your children's life, for a reason.
Yep.
For a reason. Yeah. So always think about that. I tell anybody that you're dating, I was like, they know me. I was like, hey, if I'm dating someone, they know that's hey, that's first and foremost right there. Especially at a certain age. I mean, even growing up, maybe even with him growing up at a younger age, you had some women that might want to go out and just think you just leave your kid at home because you're a man. Like, no, I'm not leaving my son at home. And what if he gets up and I'm not here? But they expect you to do certain things that, well, I don't know if you do it, but necessarily you think some guy was crazy trying to get you to do it. So we
Mm.
we I've been through that before, and just the back and forth on certain things. But I think it's something that we all need to participate in. I think our women need to participate in that. Learn to tie a tie, teach them to tie a tie, or put him in a position that somebody's around him that
And
he can
teach them
look
the
up to as
time.
an uncle. Yeah, it's an uncle or cousin, like an older cousin or somewhere, but someone that's of good character, someone's a good stock that you can enlist some help on, because there's gonna be certain things that he's gonna want to talk about and maybe not with his mom. Like I know it's just certain things that I'm pretty sure he's spoken to his mom about. And and so be it. That's their relationship, and but he knows he has that mother on that side that he can always speak with about things that he may have concerns with, or certain things he just want to know. Um, it may be certain things in dating that he wants to know, and like I know what daddy gonna say about this. Let me talk to mom, and see how she feels about this, or what kind of guidelines or path she can put me on, and she can give me, like you said, that little nugget, that comes from a different angle from dad.
Hmm.
Yeah. So,
Were
but
you the kind of dad where that was like, like allowed him to like cry, or were you like, you a man, suck it up?
nah, he
Ain't no
cried.
crying. Give you
He
something to
seen me
cry
cry.
about.
He seen me
Okay.
cry. So I mean, he seen me cry. He seen me cry, like, just on achievements and things. Like he's like, Dad, you crying? Yep. Yep. Because it's a proud moment. So yeah, you know. And like I tell him, like his pro debut, his first fight. And I was like, I, maybe he didn't get it, but I'm like, this is like your son being drafted. You know,
Mm,
this is your NBA moment. This is your Super Bowl. This is your pro debut. It's like you got drafted, and like, of course, we didn't have a stage to walk across in, but hey, you get in here and you perform, and just to see him get in there and do that, and I'm like, and just to know, like, we got to the point with my son as a professional and got his first win, and as a professional, I can retire now. I was like, but you know,
my job's done.
right. Right. But that's the point of it. Like, yeah, I was like, bro, just so yeah, I got a little. I was like, oh wow, because and then you're a part of it. You sitting here like I work my son's corner. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
so yeah,
Cam, when you become, the next money Mayweather, don't forget about the little people now. I still want tickets. I
I would
want.
never.
of course,
Matter of fact,
yeah,
I think you can hire me to be on the team. If you need any, technical uh assistance, I'm your girl. But no, I think that
I
you
got you.
did a great job, Marcus. You should definitely be proud. And I think that you definitely have some nuggets that I want to explore this whole whatever we're gonna call it, but like academy for young men,
hmm
because there are some things as a single mom, like even though like my children's father, we co-parent, he's very much present, but the first time like we had to change a tire, I had to go help him change a tire. Like no one showed him how to change a tire. You know what
right,
I'm saying? He doesn't. He's like the type. He comes from the era of we'll just pay somebody to do it. So there are certain things that maybe my son does. Well, he knows now, but
right,
I don't know if he knows how to tie a tie. We've struggled with tying a tie when it was time. So,
hmm
but like I like that idea
well,
of just just at least those basic things just to get us started, and like more things might come out of
yeah,
those conversations and lessons that we need to.
and sometimes the easier route is even like tying a tie. I'll say this. I just say we use computers for everything. YouTube got everything. So even as a mom or a dad, hey, if you don't even know, hey, get on YouTube. Either you learn it or you make sure that they learn it because it's there. You know, we're going to look up everything else in the world that we want to look up on there. Why not? Like, okay, and they'll walk you right through town to town. Like, but that's an assignment like a parent can give their child. Like, okay, and come out and show me like a tied in front of me and things of that sort. So yeah, but
Mm-hmm.
I do like the idea of like the little academy and things and just teaching like little things. Like I think like when he graduated, we did make sure you get them a suit. You should always have a gray, brown, black suit.
Mm-hmm.
Navy blue suit. You should always have suits and the mismatch of ties and shirts with shoes and things of that sort. It's just like okay, just look just like little things like that you should pick up on. That you should know. And and I think it would be something that would go over well, and I think you'd be surprised at how many people would enlist in that. Did on a weekend. I'm there, drop their kid, right, and
It's
just
some grown men go enlist in it. I'm telling
yeah. I
you,
mean,
yes,
you
that
should, you should. So yeah, so definitely.
yeah. And my son and a couple of his friends, they have a YouTube channel, and I've been talking about bringing them on Smart Love, and I would love to. It's like it's three of them. I would love to bring them back, and then bring you back, bring them on, and bring you back, Cam, and Marcus. You can come as well, like just to kind of like give them some advice, because even when it comes to like dating, they're only 20 years old, and they're already, like, I don't know, what do I do with, I got my school girlfriend and I got my girlfriend at home when I come home, and my school girlfriend this. But y'all need to talk to some men about this stuff, because I'm not gonna give you the right advice. I'm like, forget all the heifers, focus on school. But I love to bring you two back on and like give them some dating advice. I think that would be so cool.
But yeah,
I'm down
What
for
you
that.
yeah, yeah. I know a little something.
you
Know a
might
little
know a
something,
little.
something.
I mean, he has a successful relationship. I mean, you winning
Oh
right
yeah,
now, Cam. I can't even say that right now. Like what?
right.
So
He is.
that's pretty good.
He sure is. He's winning. So definitely.
Okay, Nip. Oh, that is so cool. Okay, so Nip and Holy Hot are gonna be joining. I wanted to see if Nip had any questions for Marcus and Cam before I let
Yeah,
them go.
come
Nip,
on.
can you hear us?
Yep. Can you
What's
hear
up,
me?
Nip?
Hey, made it.
Man, look. It been planes, trains, and automobiles around this thing.
Now, is that you and your son right there in that portrait?
Yeah, yeah. My brother actually painted this for us. My son was like 16, and I was like, I ain't gonna say how old I was, but
It's all
he
right.
painted that from a picture that we had took. So yeah,
That's
he get
dope.
yeah he getting up
Cam and
like
Marcus, I gotta get one. What'd you
they want to
say?
get yeah.
Yeah,
You
they
know,
need one. They
I'll
need
put you
one.
on the bro, man, for sure. You definitely treasure that piece for sure. Put it up in the house, Definitely. He getting up like teenagers do. No, I applaud y'all. You know what I mean? How y'all doing? Bosses,
What's up?
kings,
How
princes,
you doing? How you doing?
princesses, queens, and everybody. You know what I mean? Like I know being a single dad is not talked about as often as being a single mom is. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
I mean, just having that conversation, we out here. You know what I mean? Like really raising our kids for real, whether we got to do it alone or a lot of people don't get the opportunity to uh, be a single dad for real. You know what I mean? They'll lose their custody battles. They get fought on it a lot, and so it's an opportunity, to say the least,
Hmm.
to be able to
Right.
be a single dad for real.
That's it.
I
I
never
tell him.
thought about that. Yeah.
There you
Yeah,
go.
yeah, yeah. It's kind of like ingrained. Oh, you go with the mom. Like, no, who said that? You know what I mean? Especially for boys. Cam, I wanted to know what is it like growing up with a single dad? Because I ask my son all the time, and he like, it's like growing up, because he don't have no frame of reference. So,
Yeah, I was just gonna say it's
you know what I
to
mean?
me
He like,
it's
I
almost the same
grew.
thing. It's just
Yeah, he don't. That's how he grew up, so he don't get the
yeah,
frame of
it's just it's normal and natural to me. But I had to, as I got older, I had to realize that it's not so normal and natural to everybody else out here. So speaking with certain friends and things like that, he has a single mom. He was just like, they started calling my dad pops too. I was
reference.
like, wait a minute, that's my dad. But nah,
Right, right, right. They
but
be dressed.
nah, it's a blessing. It took me as I got older, going through like middle school, you start seeing like when the parents come drop everybody off, it's always the mom dropping off and picking up this student. And then like you see, it's only my dad picking me up. So just starting to put it and rationalizing that okay, it's something's here. So, but as I got older, I'm realizing that it's not such a bad thing; it's a good thing. I wish more people had their fathers in their home, but you know, that's why he's out here, pops apparently, you know, to help out other friends that I know, black males and things like that.
Yeah.
Definitely,
Definitely. But,
definitely.
I mean, I was listening, so I learned a lot. You know what I mean? I agree with a lot. You know, it's
Yes, sir.
I don't know about the empty nesting thing though, Marcus. I might be kind of waiting for.
Yeah.
It's too late to empty
Hey,
that.
hey, I had a hard. Hey, it was a hard time, bro. It was like, hey,
Yeah, I
yeah,
might.
because you're so used to him, and then it's like
Yeah,
nothing. It's like silence and stuff. You're like, okay. So it's like, all right, but you got over it. You get over it and move forward, and then you just take the enjoyment just watching him grow up and like he's in college, and you see those grades, and sometimes he's doing something, he's calling like, hey, I'm working on a paper and stuff, like he's doing a report and things. He send me stuff and send me stuff over the reports and different things that he has to do. So it's just about, like I said, my reward is the product that I put out here in the world, and that's him. So I can just be proud of that and just say I'm truly proud of that the young man that he's become, that he's going to remain, and the young man that he will be, and that future champion. So yeah, so like I said, I'm proud. Like, hey, that I got I had my hands on him, and I was blessed and given the opportunity to do what I know what I can do, what I was bred to do, and things of that sort, is be that father to my son. So yeah.
for sure. Holy Hot in the building. Holy Hot. That's Marcus's kid.
Hey,
So what's
Single
up?
dad and
How you
son.
doing,
catch
man?
up and relish. I see y'all.
It
What's
said
going
Thank
on?
you.
catch up with Jesus. That's what it said.
What does it
I
Oh,
say?
like that.
Catch up with Jesus.
Oh, I love that. You know what,
like the
Nip?
Heinz.
I just realized this. Like, so Nip actually manages Holy Hot, right? You're his manager or
Nope, he
producer.
managed himself. I just give
He-
advice. I try to give
oh,
him.
okay. I thought you were a dadager.
You
A
know, he
dad.
took over the label.
Manager.
You know, I think I'm helped like by default, but he kind of like me. He want to figure it out on his own. So you know, the stuff I tell him to do is like, okay. He might not do it, but you know, we'll see.
Okay, well,
Gotcha.
we gonna dive into that in just a second, but definitely, definitely wanted to bring you all on while Marcus and Cam were still here. See if
For
you had
sure.
any questions for that, father and son duo before we dive into your story. But thank you so much, Marcus. Thank you,
Thank you for
Cam.
having us.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you. It was a
absolutely.
pleasure.
Yes. Continue to be great.
For
Yes, I
sure.
want tickets to the fight.
I'll make sure you have
Yeah.
them.
Definitely. All right.
and so and so I know that you all have the link, I think, to like the YouTube, but I'm gonna send you the live once we finish, and I'll probably put it in like a Dropbox or Google Drive. So if you want to like use any clips, you can for whatever you want to use it for. You definitely have my permission, and I'm definitely going to use it for
Thank you.
because this was a great conversation, and I appreciate you both. Can you give us your IG, and do you have Facebook too? Are you only on IG? I'm gonna put it in the chat. So if anyone wants to follow, as they should,
Okay.
they can. So
So my Instagram is real_King Cam, KINGKAM. Facebook, I'm not a. I have one, but I don't know how to work it yet, so I'm just gonna leave that out of there for now.
okay,
I let Pops handle Facebook and all that.
okay.
Now getting on there
So
for
is there a TikTok too, or is it the same? Is everything just
I think it's
real
the same
underscore?
thing. The
Okay,
real_King Cam.
okay. All right. Well, thank you two so much for
Thank.
joining,
All
and
right.
enjoy. the rest of your
Okay.
drive back to Florida, Cam. And
I'm trying.
Yeah. Let me know when you get in, son.
Yes, sir.
All right.
okay. All right, guys.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank
Right.
you. All right.
Bye. All right. Right on time. Right on time.
Always.
Welcome to Smart Love.
Thank you. Thank you. It's good to be back. It's always a pleasure.
Yes, and I appreciate you, flying down the highway to get here because you made that commitment. I was okay with pushing it, but you were like, no, it's just
I
9:15.
like to get stuff done when it's supposed to be done, so we can get on to the next thing, man. I don't like this stuff, and coming back. I ain't coming back. We got, let's get it, Mister. Make it happen for sure.
Absolutely. Okay, so HolyHot, what do you go by? What should I call you, nephew?
Holy hot, whatever you want to call
I
me.
mean, like, okay, so what is your family call you?
Hot.
Hot.
Really? They been calling you that your whole life. You just been hot, and so you just turned it into a rap name?
Nah, it was like sixth grade. Sixth grade. That's been my little nickname.
Yeah,
Really?
it was Money Hot, and
Money.
then it went to Holy Hot once he, went gospel rap. So hot.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
but
right.
everybody, everybody they been just saying hot.
Yeah.
Hot. Well, I'm glad to meet you.
Good to meet you.
I remember your dad telling me that you were a gospel rapper, but I hadn't listened to any of your songs yet. And then I went and listened like earlier today, and I was like, this sound like the stuff that's on the radio right now, but he's just talking about God. Like, I love this.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
So I'm a fan.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Yes,
You're the
yes,
support for
For
sure.
sure.
for sure. And so I don't know if my young men are still on, but I had my son and his friends join because I was like, I got two guests that they can relate to, a little bit more than some of the previous guests that I have. So I hope that they're on and they get to get some free game from you today. But if they don't get it today, this is being recorded so they can watch it back. But yeah, I'm excited to hear your story. I'm excited to hear lessons because, like, Nib, you just like so cool that I forget that you're even a dad. Like, you just like, what I'm saying? Like, he just be like chilling, like, oh, you got a whole person you have raised. So I'm excited to hear the
Look
stories.
like I just ain't been doing nothing, huh? Just
Like,
sitting
you ain't been doing
around.
that. You just chilling, but you just go home and chill. Like,
Yeah, I be trying to, for real.
so HolyHot, how old are you? I know you got.
19.
You're 19. Oh, you're a baby.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Nah.
And
Yeah.
so did you grow up in because I know, wait, how long have you guys been in Atlanta? Not long, right?
Yeah, like 2 years.
But we lived here
Yeah,
before.
but I lived here when I was in fifth grade.
Yeah.
For like a year. I really grew up everywhere. But
Yeah.
I always kept my roots though. San Francisco, for real. Always made
Yeah,
my back for some reason.
absolutely, absolutely. Okay, so HolyHot, hot, hot and holy. What were I'm a nut. Don't pay me no mind.
It's
So
all right.
what were some of the things that especially like growing up in San Francisco that you had to experience and like just some of the challenges that you faced growing up in I'm gonna consider the hood. I don't know. Like, were you in the nice part of San Francisco? I don't know. But let's just say
The whole
wasn't
San
wasn't
Francisco is a hood.
I'm gonna say, and it's really
I was trying to think.
It's just different parts of the hood
right.
for
It's
real.
different parts of it. Okay, so what were some of the challenges you faced growing up in the hood that's like brought you to where you are today?
Yeah. See, it's really like two sides of San Francisco for real. Like it's the skaters and the tourist people, and then it's the trenches. Everybody, like, you feel me, as a mindset type thing, though. Like it's environmental for real. So I say the
Mhm.
challenges. Uh, I really had challenges like the people I was around, losing friends and stuff, like early death. I knew death like
Mhm.
too early. No,
Mm.
carried my grandpa Cassie like 7. I was like 7. Yeah. So death was always a normal thing, and being hurt, like, I mean, I felt pain early on, grief, literally for real.
Mhm.
So I don't know. I ain't really have like a normal childhood in that aspect. Like my parents, they did all they could do. You know, so like I ain't never had no abusive relationship or nothing with my parents or nothing. But outside of the home, no, was where it got hectic for me. Like started doing the wrong stuff, hanging with the wrong people, all because of
Mhm.
pain. Pain leads you to a whole life of hell, for real.
Mm.
For real,
No,
for real.
that makes a lot of sense. And it's interesting that you say that because as we were talking to Cam, like he mentioned that um, his friends, like his support system, the people that he had around him, is like what he attributed a lot of his success to. So I can totally understand how, your environment and the people that are around you can also send you the other way if they're not, you know, good for you or like-minded or on the same path. So I totally can understand that. That makes perfect sense. So Nip, is that one of the reasons why you all moved to Atlanta, kind of like to get out of that environment?
That's one of the reasons why I came out here originally. When I first came out here, like 2008, he didn't come with me. He would just come summers, and I wanted him to come with me, but he eventually did come, like choose to come and just stay one summer. So that's definitely one of the reasons why I got out of San Francisco, because I saw that the only way to stop what was going on was to take myself out of the equation. You know what I mean? And I just seen that it was the road that I was on was 7 different kinds of destruction. I could just stay on it for real, but then it was like I had this little person that I was responsible for. So the decisions that I make couldn't be for what I had to prove, or you know what I mean, or revenge, or all these other reasons people have for staying in an environment that ultimately kills them or sends them away for life. I chose to make the decision to change.
Your environment.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
that.
yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yes. So, so this is coming from Duchess of the Bay. She's also from San Francisco. One of my besties. She says, "Why?" She said, "Oh, she said considering the entire city was hood. Did you grow up in Phil? So she said the entire city was broken up into
Fillmore,
hoods.
California, baby.
So did you grow up in Fillmore, Hunters Point,
Fillmore,
Geneva Towers,
California, baby.
Fillmore,
Fillmore. It don't got an
Film
R in it.
mode.
Fillmore,
Yes.
Fillmore,
Yeah, I think it's
California?
Fillmore now, but when I was there, it was Fillmore. So, Those are two different places for real.
It made me feel weird when people be like, the Fillmore.
Yeah,
the Fillmore.
They occupy the same space, but those are two different places.
Like when you say the Fillmore, that's like the gentrification now.
I don't even think Fillmore exists for real like that no more. Nah, it's still around. It's still, I see remnants of it, but it ain't like it was though. When I was out there in the 90s and 2000s, it was up. It was a whole operation network. Born and raised.
So for people that are not familiar with San Francisco or Filmo, what are some of the dangerous things, or what are some of the things that you had to deal with? Because like, I mean, I know like pimping, drug, stuff like that, killings and stuff like that. But like, maybe can you kind of describe?
I know pimping off the top of my head. Pimping ain't really dangerous out there. Like that's really like everybody. You ain't gotta worry about them.
You ain't gotta worry about pimping. That's okay.
But what
that's not dangerous.
Worry about
it is for the hoes. What you mean it ain't dangerous?
Because I know some personally, some pimps and other sides personally, and it can go both ways. But
I know Miss Oakland ain't talking. You need to ask Too Short that question. We gonna plead the fifth on that
aspect. The dangerous thing though in San Francisco is really them cars. That's really the most craziest thing going on right now. Like San Francisco. Oh, and they will rob you though, for sure. If you got the right stuff on, the right jewelry on.
Bipping and robbing. The thievery is at an all-time banana. I seen that on the news. Like they really just taking everything. You can't park, you can't visit, you can't do nothing out there. That's his generation. My generation, it was just a whole lot of gunplay, cousin. Just abundance of it. It was there, inevitable. It was like constant. It was constant, and people think, you got San Francisco, Richmond, and Oakland, and it was like the murder rate in San Francisco was just as high as Oakland and Richmond, but San Francisco was like 12% black. So it made it kind of like where those other ones, like I think we was keeping up with their murder rates with way less black people. So it was kind of the percentage of, it was kind of wild, But it's a lot of projects in San Francisco. People don't know. Like, there's a lot of projects out there.
So Nip, for you, like what were, of course, I know the environment aside, we know the environment was one factor, but what were some of the other challenges that you had to deal with as a single dad?
As a single dad?
Yeah.
I think that I would say trying to just like break generational curses. You know what I mean? Like my dad. So I didn't grow up with my dad like that. He did like these long prison stints. You know what I mean? He finally got out of prison when I was older, my teenage years or whatever. He said, "All right, I did enough time for me, you, and your son. All right, I'll take that because there's a few times that has come in handy for real because I should have been through. But I think okay, I'll take the baton. It was like the game. I had to break the curse, the generational curse of the game. Like, okay, I did enough of the game for me, my brothers, and my son, and a couple of cousins. You know what I mean? Like, this bridge is burnt. So just trying to keep him from going down that path. And every time you get on it, trying to yank him off that path has been like one of my biggest challenges. Like, no, not that. You could do, you could do a whole lot of other stuff, but not that. So,
When you say the game, what do you mean?
Um, the life, the game. You want me to explain the game to you?
Well, I know the game.
Okay.
Game
Uh,
recognized game.
right, right,
But
right.
for the
I
audience is
mean,
not
once you start, what I told him when he was 12, once you start that from stuff, you press and play on the game. Oh, I'm from here, I'm from there, and you choose sides, and you go for that ride. And once you press
okay.
that game, then you got to play till the game is over. You only get a couple of opportunities to exit, or you only get a couple of opportunities to finish, or but most of the time it ends tragically. But
Mhm.
if you never press play, then you won't go through those things. So I tried to keep him from ever pressing play on it because I knew what it brought. Because it starts off real innocent. You start off real young, usually around middle school. Oh, I'm from here. But once you start saying you from a certain place, then whatever comes along with being from that place, you inhibit, you inhabit.
Start off innocent.
Ain't no such thing as halfway crooks. It's different levels to the game, but in is in. It don't matter. Oh,
Right.
I'm in like that. But once you in, you subjected to anything the game um, has to offer, and you don't know what destiny might befall you. So I'm
Hmm.
talking about the game, the
The
real one,
game.
murder
Right.
game. What me Mill saying? If you ain't about that murder game, then you can shut up and rappers get that.
You had to wrap it.
That's what it
Okay. Thank
turned
you.
into. That's what it turned into. Just a whole lot of
Yeah.
gunplay for real. I mean, you could have hustlers, you could have pimps, you could have thieves, you could have drug addicts. They all a part of the game, but those like really active in that front line of the game, it's a different kind of little thing when you really you know, on that front line, really getting into it with people from different places. And, I survived 15 funk seasons for real. Like, it's serious. Be up.
Hey,
You
that's
know what
good.
I
That's
mean? Like,
15
it
policies.
ain't no, the game ain't no game at all for real. It's not a game, is what it's not.
Right.
But it is the game.
It is the game. So, Holy Hot, so what inspired you to actually get into music and then specifically gospel rap?
I mean, music was really passed down to me for real. Like, I always had like an old soul. I've been rapping since I was born, for real. My dad's songs and all type of stuff. And I've been watching The Temptations, Five Heartbeats, The Wiz and stuff. I can tell you all of the movies off the back of my hand, every scene before it come on, for real. And I've been rapping. I was just promoting the wrong stuff. So when I got right with God, I'm like, I took a long break. Like, dang, I'm finna have to stop rapping. And then God, like, use it for me. I didn't even know it was such thing as gospel rappers, like, at all. I didn't know people was rapping for God for real. And I'm like, dang, I'm gonna be the only one out here. Like, I'm like, yeah, I'm like, God, this just gave me a good idea. And then I started seeing like other people doing it and stuff. And I'm like, but they ain't really like, they talking how life just glitter and gold though, for real. Like, and I
Mm,
couldn't really like relate to that because my life ain't just been peaches and cream for real. I can't get on the mic and fake. So I'm like, God told me like, don't spit the real. Is this somebody as still in the same places that you done came from that need to hear how you got through?
yeah.
Like, all right. And it took me a while worry about what people gonna say, how I'm gonna do it, this, that, and the third. But I try to let everything be God led, let the Holy Spirit really speak through me for real. Like, it don't even be me rapping at that point. Just turn on the mic and ever come out, God did.
Wow, that's amazing. Okay, so you're saying that you were already rapping,
Mhm.
but you kind of went through a time in your life where what you got saved, or like you just started
Yeah.
going to church, or what was the turning point?
No, I found God before I found church. That for
Ooh.
all of the people that, I found God before I found church. I thought church was
Mm.
a corrupt system. I thought it was like they just wanted money. But my grandma had me in church and stuff as a kid. But that's like, come on, let's go to church. Not you want to come to church, like so.
Yeah.
It was more like when I don't gotta go, I'm not gonna be up there all day and they singing at the beginning, the middle, and the end of the service. But
But
it
you
ain't
like
right.
music. That's the best part, right?
I was in there. I wasn't trying to hear all that stuff. I was already trying to do the wrong things. But dang, what was the question? My bad.
No, no. So like you touched on a point, because like my grandmother, like I guess our grandmothers like were the ones back day that like introduced us to church and would, make us go to church. And then it wasn't until I made the choice to, like you said, you found God. And um it was kind of like same thing for me. It wasn't until I made the choice that, I wanted to learn more about God. I wanted to build my relationship with God, that it actually like, I appreciated it. But yeah, just going with your grandma and they singing in the beginning, the middle, and the end, it's like, you missing the message at times. I can understand that. So the
Couldn't tell
question
you.
was, what
Oh
was
no,
your
I
turning
know
point?
the question now. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
And I couldn't tell you not one thing I learned from church before I got right with God. For real.
Mm,
Everything.
It was different for me. Everything came back to me that I was sitting in there hearing all those years that I wasn't paying attention to. I was like, oh, I know this stuff.
See, and then
so
that's the
you so you found God too around the same. Wait,
yeah.
No,
okay,
I
well, hold on.
found
We're gonna
it
get to
way
you.
long
We're gonna get
ago.
to you. Okay, go ahead.
The
Holy.
turning point was for real my 18th birthday. Like last year, I was at a real low point. I was trying to get back up, fresh new scenery. And I was at a real. I was like depressed, stuck in grief for real, because that was when like I was still healing. I really didn't get a chance to heal from. I lost my friends like back to back to back to back, like month after month after month, like August from July all the way up to November. I lost people, multiple people, like back to back. So I'm still trying to deal with something else, and I'm hit by something else and something else. So I'm just like, it is what it is. I'm stuffing myself with drugs, and wherever we go, that's where we go. Keep living.
Mhm.
You know. And my mama
Yeah.
told me the story of how I was born on my birthday as soon as I turned 18. And
Mm.
you mind if I share the story?
Please share the story.
So she said she was gonna get me aborted in 6 weeks, right? So it's first Sunday, 4 weeks in, it's first Sunday. She decided to go to church. Right? Pop strong, mom strong too, though. She's a single mother too. And my
Mhm.
brother dad was in the streets. My dad, wasn't living right back then. So she like, I'm not finna do this again on my own. So
Right.
she finna get me aborted in 4 weeks. So she go to church, and the lesson for the church is spiritual pregnancy. And the only one that knew my mama was pregnant was the pastor, because that's like sort of my auntie in a way. But she ain't know my mama was finna be at this church today. God don't
Mm,
make coincidences at all.
right.
So every key point, there's a drop of water hitting my mama on her forehead. And she get up, check the seat not wet. Her and my auntie start crying and stuff. And they asked my mama to come up and pray for her. And the pastor lay her hand on my mama's belly and say, "Don't worry, keep the baby. This gonna be your blessed child." So
Wow.
Pop said he don't remember this, but my mama said
I wasn't there.
no. This part, my mama said
He was in
was
the game. He was in the game. He wasn't there.
look. My mama lead a church. She said this. Is what she tell me. She said she called my grandma and say she keeping the baby. She said she called my dad and say she keeping the baby, and she said my dad said if you keep the baby, I'ma kill myself.
No,
And then
I said, this is what I said. She said, Jesus told me to keep the baby. And I said, is he on the main line? Because he didn't tell me that. So call him back. Tell him what you want.
and
That's what I remember saying.
And she said, she was like, no
She
weapon
dragged
formed
it.
against me.
You shall prosper.
I've never been suicidal. I don't even play like that.
And
Cut
then
it out.
they had me, came out, umbilical cord choking me out, had 7 knots in my umbilical cord, said that was a sign of intelligence, unraveled me, took a deep breath, and the devil been trying to take me out ever since.
Yeah.
Just hearing that though, it was like, dang, if God this real, if God like real for real, like why I'm seeking all this other stuff, like feel me, like it's like man, piece by piece, step by step. It was a process.
Okay.
No.
For sure.
Wow. That's a great story. Like, wow. That's yeah. I gotta let this sink in. Okay, so Nit, at that time you were still in the streets.
Yes.
Okay.
But in the streets, I don't know. It's different for everybody. For me, it wasn't like that's what I was doing. Like I was seeking to do that. Like I was doing all kind of stuff. Like the same year
Survival.
before I graduated from City College, and I dropped the album, and like I was making movies. Like I wasn't just one of them people that just like, oh, so like this is what I'm trying to be when I grow up. Like that was not my thing. It was like I had to go through it because I was placed in it and it wasn't no way around it. You know what I mean? But I feel like I was always looking for a way through to get
Okay.
out.
Okay. And so you're and I'm just trying to think about the timing. Okay, so you're 18. Okay. So no, you're 19. Okay, so at the time and are you is Hot your only child?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So your first and only child is born.
Mm-hmm.
And as a parent, I know that puts like a whole nother level of like, stress and, pressure on you to
Yeah.
survive. Like, you were in survival mode when it was just you, but now you have a child that you are responsible for, right? So I know that, puts extra pressure on you as a parent. So Hot comes into the world. Now, how does that change the trajectory of your life and like where you were going and what you were doing and
I mean,
nothing.
like I said, with the game, you can't just stop. You know what I mean? Like you can't just stop. Especially you be in too deep. I think he was like, let me see. What you was like 2 years old when I got shot? When I got shot, he was like 2 years old. And I remember him. They brought him up to the hospital and he was crawling all over me and I couldn't even like get him off of me. And I'm like, somebody please get him off of me, please. You know what I mean? And he was like, Dad, you got shot? I'm like, yeah. He was like, you didn't have your gun? And I'm like, yeah, you can still get shot when you got your gun. For sure. So I think that it was like steps, like because we was together all the time. It wasn't like it changed instantly. I used to just have him with me, and then I'd be like, man, if anything happened to him, I'ma lose it. But that still ain't gonna, make him come back, But it was a gradual thing until it just came to a point like, all right, I gotta change, and it ain't gonna change here for real.
Right. Yeah. So would you say that is kind of what started you on your path to
Yeah.
your salvation, or like what was your story?
After I did leave, he was about 3. I came out here, and I was just looking for peace. You know what I mean? I was just looking for peace, and when I came out here, I had quiet, and like I said, quiet is not peace. You know what I mean? But it's a good environment to find it, but it's not it. So I went through the process, and then you know, I had my Paul on the road to Damascus experience, and then I found peace. So yeah, I was looking for a piece, but that is the initial thing that definitely want to make me change, because I was looking at him and he acted just like me, and I was like, "Is that how I act?" I said, "I don't think I want him to grow up and he's watching everything I do, but I'm not thinking I'm being an example. I'm just shaking and baking. I'm moving and grooving. I'm doing what I'm doing. You know what I mean? But he's watching
Yeah.
everything that I'm doing, and he's doing it. Like I used to tell people what to do, and he would tell them what to do. I would tell my little brother, "Hey, go give me something to drink." Yeah, go get him something to drink. He's practicing. You know what I mean? Telling people what, and I used to ask, "What are you doing? Stop doing that." Every time I tell somebody something, you tell them too. Like I would just tell them that. But I'm not even thinking. I got so much going on. I always had him with me though. You know what I mean? He was always like with me. I wasn't even, I knew he wasn't good, but he was good with me. You know what I mean? I ain't even good, but he good with me. So, but I had to, really look at the fact that he's watching everything I'm doing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes. So Nip, like what were some of the lessons that you learned the hard way that you tried to teach him so that he did not have to go down the same path?
I think one of the initial things that I told him when he got around 12, 13, and I saw him kind of like trying to go down different paths, and I told him rule number one in the game is there is no rules, and then it's a million other rules that follow. You know what I mean? But rule number one is it ain't no rules. So while you thinking and basing and looking and thinking, and then also, a lot of your friends ain't your friends, God. You know what I mean? Oh, and I do remember this. I told him, don't let nobody play with you. Don't let nobody play with you, because if you let them play with you enough, sooner or later they're gonna try to play you.
Stuck with me forever.
Don't let nobody play with you.
Hold on, that
And
I need to put that
don't
on
play
a
with me.
shirt. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
You said, you
No,
said
I'm
don't let
just playing.
nobody.
No, I just playing stuff. I don't play that just playing stuff. Don't let nobody. No, I ain't playing. If y'all playing, y'all playing. It's different. But if you playing at my expense, that's a different thing. Like, know the difference with somebody just playing for real, or somebody really just playing to see how far they could go and try to play you for real. If y'all both playing, that's one thing. But if somebody playing with you, that's a whole nother thing. Nah, and you
Mm,
not playing, nah, it don't go like that.
I like that. Don't let nobody play with you. That sound like somebody from Frisco would say something like that. Like that's I feel like did Donald Going say that? Like that sound like some pimp talk right
Ah.
there.
Nah, that was something I learned the hard way. Don't let nobody
Okay.
play with you. They set you up to play you for sure, and you definitely
Mm,
gotta watch your friends as much as you gotta watch your enemies for real. San Francisco is like a real political, like it's so intricate to me. It ain't like so rah rah to where they just be like shooting in the streets, like no mayhem and this like that. But you would definitely
mm,
come up missing by the morning, and it'd be somebody you was with, and it'd be somebody that was laughing with you, and
mm,
it's way more political and personal and treacherous. Just to me, you know what I mean? Like you can't really trust the people that you be trusting for real, because you
Trust
don't
nobody.
nobody, buddy. It's unfortunate that you have to be like that, but it's preservation though. I was raised right in the wrong place, so all the good things that I learned at home, by the time I came outside, all the attributes and values I was given turned out to be weaknesses in the projects. You know what I mean? Sharing and
Mm,
being nice and caring and all this other stuff would get you ate up and chew dog eat dog.
yeah, definitely. So, did you like grow up like do you have like a big family
Hmm.
where you are? Okay. So, cuz like that was like one of the things I always remember. And we talked about this a little bit like on the show the other day, like having like my cousins, you know what I'm saying? Like my blood, like you can trust your blood. Well, you should be able to trust your blood more so than, you know what I'm saying, the outside influences. And so like even I just look at it like, you know, in Oakland, for example, like every other block, like, you know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, my brother, that's the block my brother run that block. Everybody know my brother. I'm good over there. Over here, oh, everybody know all my cousins, I'm good over here. So like, did you have like that family elite like village kind of a
So
little bit, or was
I'm
that
kind of
street too?
like I'm kind of like the oldest, you know what I mean? So it was like, as far as all the grandkids and stuff, like, and I had one cousin for real that really, uh, we hung out in the streets. Like, most of my family was not in the streets. You know what I mean? They was wherever they was, like I had scattered, but I feel like most of the time I had to kind of like, make it on my own. You know what I mean? So I learned that as well. Like, the buck stops here most of the time. Like, as you get older, like I'm not finna leave here and go get somebody else to come handle my issue. You'd be dead by the time you try to go get somebody because you can't handle it on your own. So I
Right.
I grew to learn that, um, you gotta handle stuff on your own. So I think I'll more be the person that you'll come get than the person to come get for
Yeah.
real.
Well, I was
You
just
know?
wondering, did you have? Because I can understand sometimes the influence of like family that's in the street that kind of like draws you to it. But then also like if you have family that's that's not a part of that lifestyle, and it's like did you like gravitate towards it because you thought it was cool? Or what I'm saying, like it wasn't anybody like pulling you out, like, nah, you're not going to the streets, you gonna
So
do X, Y,
I'm literally like what you call a product of my environment. I was plopped down and they was literally selling crack on my front porch. Like on my front porch. If the game is on your front porch, it's kind of like inevitable. It ain't no way around it. You know what I mean? And then as soon as you get off the porch and you go outside, you surrounded. And I
yeah,
seen people, a lot of dudes that had their dads and stuff like that, and they would just stay in the house and they would cornball them out, and but they didn't go that route. But some of us, I feel like the game just chose. You know what I mean? It's like Never Land over there, the Lost Boys, just running around doing whatever they trying to figure it out, looking for examples. Like it's you know, I often think, oh, I could have just went another route, but the only way out was through for me. Seemed like because I didn't choose that. It wasn't like I wanted to do that. Like it was just something that I had to deal with on a daily basis, every day, just navigating. Trying to keep my bike, trying to keep my coat, trying to keep my, you know what I mean? Trying to keep,
yeah,
you know what I
absolutely.
mean? Trying to keep my own lunch, trying to keep my money, trying to keep like, man, check this out. The buck stops here, get tired.
Yeah,
So it wasn't like I was trying to be like somebody else or I was trying to be something that I wasn't. It was more just dealing with day to day life, and it changes you.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So hot. So now, because you said 18 was your epiphany, and so you're 19 now, and you know, you're now a gospel rap artist. Like, how has your life changed, like for the better, now that you're walking on this path with God?
Really, I'm living and I'm figuring out who I am. I'm a totally different person than I thought I was before I
Mm.
found God. And peace, for real. Ain't never felt peace, for real. Never felt like this in my life, for real. So now I felt, I'm like, I never want to lose this
Yeah.
ever, for real. So I say
Yeah.
that's what changed for the better was definitely how I look at the world too, for real. Well, that may have got a little worse, for real, because now I'm not battling flesh and blood. All I see is spirits walking around.
Demon time.
For real.
So, what are 3 pieces of advice your dad gave you that you apply now?
Um, Women are a distraction. A good woman is an asset.
Ooh.
And
A good woman is an asset, and women are a distraction.
that ain't what I said.
Something like that.
I-
um,
a good woman is an asset. How do you determine a good woman? What makes a good woman for you?
a godly woman. I got a woman. For real.
You
I
got
got,
a woman? Okay.
yeah,
You
now,
found her?
for sure.
Okay.
Got a woman way over town. She good to me. Oh yeah.
So
Was
is
that
this someone
hard?
is this someone that you met like after you
Mm-mm.
started to change your life, or is this someone that was like just held you down and now y'all are going through it together?
Nah, we re-met each other, but I knew her since middle school. But we re-met each other, and yeah, that's
Okay.
good. That's good for me for real, cause she like understand, cause she from San Francisco too, so she like understand, the switch for real. Like I could tell you a million times, but if you wasn't really around, you would never really know how I look is not how I was feeling or what was going on for real.
Hmm. Yeah, well, good for you. I'm happy for you. That's great. That's great. So, so you said a godly woman, meaning that what, she goes to church, she prays,
Church,
she
I ain't gonna lie. I love church. I love church for sure, but the devil go to church. You know, the devil read the Bible too. It's about
Mm,
like the devil know the Bible front to back. So it's really about your morals and your relationship with God. Or it's always relationship over religion for me. Like
yep.
I never oh, you're a Christian, become a Christian. I push, get a relationship with Jesus. And then that's what I say that because I go to church. But really, if her life line up with what the words say, no, we ain't perfect. Feel me? But if you striving to be that, Proverbs 31, striving to be, you know, my type.
Okay. Okay. So godly. Okay. What else?
Real love, for real. And that's another thing too. Growing up, a single dad too, for real. To go back to that, my bad. But my Gigi was the only person I say I really felt like the same love every single time I seen her. She ain't never yelled at me, hit me. She'll tell me like, "Oh, don't do that." But like every time I see her, like it's real, like genuine love. Like she'd cook whatever for me. Like she really loved me for real. Like I know my people, they love
Unconditionally.
unconditionally, yeah. But like my mom, she was a tomboy for real too. So like it wasn't too much affection and stuff So I ain't really know like how to be affectionate and soft and stuff. You know, I'm growing up. I can't just go and give pops no hugs. Well, I could, but like I'm not. You know, like we two men for real. You know, like I'm not gonna just be giving you hugs every single. You know, like it's
Yeah.
good for the soul though. But I don't know. It's just I don't know why for real. But yeah, so with her, I'm like learning like really how to love or really what love is for real. Like, you know,
Smart love.
smart
Smart
love.
love. Yeah. I love this. I love
For
this.
real.
So, like, have you like learned about like the love languages?
Yeah.
You heard about that?
I know my love language, like really quality time for real, and I ain't gonna lie. A genuine heart for real. I couldn't just tell you one off the rip, but love in general for real.
Yeah,
For real.
quality time is important for me too. And so, um, do you know your girl's love language, her primary love language?
I know
Have y'all
she
talked about it?
quality time too. She always
Okay.
on the ground and stuff, but even that we be having to fast from each other, take breaks from each other too, just to keep God in the center of it. You know,
Oh, I like
and
that.
exactly where he pushing us to where he need us to be, so we can't idolize each other. Idolize each other for sure.
Ooh, that's now you just said a whole word right there.
For
So you said
sure.
you
Nah.
are you learning something here, Nip? Look,
Oh
this
yeah.
is
Listen,
these
for
preaching
sure.
boys right here. Okay.
We
So
sharpen
you said
iron around this thing.
I see. I love it. Okay. So you said you have to take fasts from each other so that you make sure you keep God in the center and that you don't start to idolize that relationship or each other more than God or God's purpose. That's
Because if
wow.
God,
At 19, you know this?
I ain't gonna lie, that's God. God that gifted me. Well, Lord, that may be passed down too, but God that gifted me. I always had a head on my shoulders. I knew little
Right.
stuff for sure. But God ain't gonna bless you with what He know you gonna replace Him with for real. So
Mm,
that's a
whoa.
discipline come in, and I know this God sent. So ain't no way I can put this above God's. No, that'd be foolish.
I think that's what
Yeah.
happened to Adam for real.
Yeah. Every
Real talk.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's what happened to Adam. He took that apple God told him not to, and Eve told him to, and he took it and ate it. Knowing dang well God told him not to eat that apple, and he listened to her.
So, okay, so like I'm intrigued with these fasts. Like, tell me more. So, so like, so you mean the reason why like I'm pressing you on this because someone just told me the other day that like they were like had to take a fast from like communication, which is why like my phone calls weren't coming through and text messages weren't being returned. And so on my end, oh, you ignoring me. Oh, you like what? So I'm like doing my womanly things like in my head, like, okay, he tripping. So how do you balance that? Like, do y'all come to an agreement? Like, look, we're gonna take a fast from each other, or do you just turn your phone off?
I,
Like,
I ain't just gonna do nothing like that. She know she going on the same fast.
That's what I
okay.
do.
She going on the same fast to keep God in the center. I told her only one should be above me is Jesus. You feel me? For real. So
Okay. I
you
like
know,
y'all little relationship. This is cute.
and
Yeah, this is a solid foundation right here. I
no,
like this.
for real. You gotta keep it like that. For real. But it's really up to me though to keep that to keep that going though, for real. But the
Yep.
fast is definitely needed though, and that's Bible too. And I didn't even know that until I think I may have found that on one of our fasts. Like Paul said to fast from your people so that the devil can't come in and tempt you due to lack of self control. You know, and I'm like, dang. So this like God, and really told us this like. So it's lovely. It's lovely. It's all God in the midst of it.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope. Okay,
Yeah.
so tell me about like you as an artist. Like what, of course, like your story and everything that you've gone through has shaped you, but like what is different about your music than other gospel artists or other regular artists? You touched on it a little bit in the beginning when you were kind of talking about, you're coming from your perspective of like all the pain, like you don't have, this rosy, you know, painting outlook on life. Like you've been through some shit. So you're, of course, what you talk about is gonna be a little different. But yeah, like what makes you different? How is your music different?
Hmm. I say for real, I'm not coming in trying to sound like I'm still in the streets. Like I didn't just literally really escape that stuff. I'm not finna get right with God. Like, I hear a lot of gospel rappers, and no shade to them. Like if God ain't convicted them, then nothing. Like that's their relationship with God. But they come on there. Oh, I just pulled out my Bible Glock and shot a demon in the face, and I'm not listening to none of that because I was just really riding around with Glocks and stuff. You feel me? Like, oh, why am I going? I'm not. It's called us not to be like the world at all. So I'm coming Bible. Like I make sure my stuff is scripture, like scripture led, and I make sure my stuff is the people that was like me could feel it. Really, I'll try to make stuff for everybody for real, but people that hit me, that's really deep in the trenches still. Like all my folks, they still living the same life. They hit me like, man, what you just said, this, that, and the third. Got me thinking, it got me looking at stuff like keep going, woo, woo. Like I got real support from beyond jail cells and stuff. People
Wow.
that I may not see for years and years and years, they in there trying to get their faith in line, because of something God done put through me. So I say
Man.
like the difference, my stuff really, this stuff is not for no fame. This stuff is not for to get something from God. It's to give God,
Mhm.
to let God speak through me for real. Like whoever I could touch, I had a vision. Like God gave me like a vision. I'm in heaven. I'm in the line to heaven, and he like, look at all these people you brought with you. Like,
Wow.
and that's the vision that that's what I'm striving for real. This earthly
Yeah.
stuff, seek the kingdom, all this stuff will be added, but my treasures is stored up in heaven for real.
Mm. Oh, you got you a good one right here, Nip. Oh man.
Yeah.
You're giving me a whole word. Like on Sunday, man, we need you to do the benediction on Smart Love Sundays from now on. Okay. um, let me I think I had some more questions for you, Nip.
Mhm.
So what are some of the misconceptions about single dads that you want to clear up today?
Uh, I don't know. I don't know very many single dads really, and
Mhm.
I don't know what the misconceptions are. What are some of the misconceptions? I could care less.
Some of the
I'll be
mis
sitting there listening to no misconceptions for real.
what are
Single
the
dad
misconceptions?
busy. We busy, man, because if
I,
we
I would think
really,
a misconception is that there aren't any single dads, that dads don't,
yeah, we
take
do
care of their
exist.
kids.
We like unicorns and Bigfoot, and.
Okay,
I think
okay.
that I think it's just as important for single dads to be a good example, as far as like who you bring around your kid and raising your kid, and who you have your kid around and who you let your kid go with. I think people may think that single dads are loose, like their kid can do whatever. Kevin Hart said, "This how men watch kids. Y'all better not be in that toilet." I know, like they don't get up, and you got. We are active. You know, we drive to games and practice 30 times a week, and we are
Mhm.
showing up to the school, calling the school, like we be involved for real. You know what I mean? What you laughing about?
Cool and
Did
stuff and all this stuff. Now he ain't had me around nobody, right? That's why I used to be trying to go to my mama house and go all everywhere. Cause I couldn't go because nobody come to the house.
Mm-mm. No, you ain't spend the
ridiculous.
night over there unless they related. Like I'm real family oriented. You can go. You want to go somewhere? Go over to your Gigi house or go over to somewhere I know where the same values is being instilled that are at home. Like just having your child at this person house, that person house, and their values is totally different. You know what I mean? They teaching your kid something different. They not looking out for your kid like you looking out for your kid. Like they gonna be all into all type of stuff. So I would only allow him when he was with me to go places where I knew that the values were similar.
Okay. All right. And that leads me to my last question for you, Nip. Like, what are some of the values that you instilled in your son? And is there
Um,
anything that you want to like an extra one you want to give him today? Extra lesson, value, something to hold on to.
I mean, I think that one of the one of the first lessons that I really held on to for him was outside. Outside is not a destination. He tried to tell me, "Dad, I'm going outside." Outside, where? Where are you going? Outside is not a destination because that's what I used to say when I was younger. I'm
Me
going
too.
outside. And outside is not a destination. And my grandmother would say this to me every time I say I'm going outside. She would go, "Well, where are you going, Marquise?" I said, "I just said I'm going outside." And she like, "Well, idleness is the devil's workshop." I didn't have a clue what she was talking about. All right, girl. I guess when I see him, I'll tell him. But but when I got older and realized outside is not a destination, that I definitely, as soon as my son said first outside, oh no, that's not where you're going. Because I know that destination. That ain't no destination for sure. So, but I mean, today I
I
would
just
say,
said that too. That's another thing that stuck with me for them three things. That's a whole lot. I couldn't just, but that's another thing that stuck with me too.
yeah, outside is not a destination. But today I would say, and seeing him like really on fire for the Lord, and I was once in that place as well. Um, I would just say that don't compromise, don't get distracted. Uh, stick to the path. Don't lose that connection. You know what I mean? Because the Holy Spirit only dwells in holiness. He can't coexist with compromise. He'll give you a couple chances, but if you really stray too far, it'd be a slippery slope. So really, just stay focused and don't compromise. And you know, new levels come new devils. That's one of his sayings. So as it gets grayer, the levels that you pass. So really just stay connected to the branch and really just stay in tune and stay on fire.
Love that. And Nip, how proud are you of your son? like on the path that he is on now from where he was at his 18th birthday?
I'm extremely proud of my son for sure. I feel like it's definitely a lot of stuff he could have did because I told him a long time ago I can't be there with you when you know every day all day to
That's
make
another
these.
thing. Some stuff you're gonna have to go through on your own.
Yeah, I can't. I would if I could, cause I've been through it probably 10 times before, and if I could just knock it out for you right quick. But some stuff you gotta go through on your own.
But then what shape me wisdom,
Yeah,
you know,
I
knowing
can't. You know, protect you from every single solitary thing. I would if I could for sure, but you need to become the man that you need to be, and to do that, you have to go through certain things and overcome certain things. You know, they say the measure of man is not by what he accomplished, but by what he overcomes. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
I
Okay.
applaud the accomplishments. I support and all that stuff, but the overcoming is what I'll be most proud of, and making a conscious decision of your own. Because I've never been the followy type. You know what I mean? As long as you making your own decisions, don't follow the crowd guy. The crowd of everybody. That's the everybody jump off the bridge syndrome. Ain't nobody got time for that. I'll be
Hmm.
standing there looking like, well, I guess I'll go that way.
For sure, for sure.
I guess I'll
Okay.
cross the bridge and not jump off of it. I don't know what y'all. That's crazy.
trash.
Like, can we build a bridge? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, something.
Like,
Jump off of it. What? I don't care if I'm the only person to say, no, I think I'll cross. Y'all can judge.
and then Hot, what are you most proud of your dad for?
Still being around for real. Yeah.
Mm.
Being through and seeing it all for real. For real. Strong for real. And still, you know, keep me as shielded from life as possible, you know. Like to keep me, you feel me, moved around, got good house. No, I don't got no complaints for real. Proud of
That's
everything for real, and he, work ethic and all for real. He always doing something.
he's always doing something.
I'm trying to get right for real. I'm trying to get my work ethic right. 'Cause I be feeling like I ain't doing enough.
No.
Never too much. You always doing something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
keep
my
yourself
kids be
busy.
gonna be the same way. They be like, Mom, when do you sleep? I
Mhm.
mean, I sleep.
Yeah, I'll sleep for sure.
Yeah, I
But
sleep.
when I'm up, it's up. Let's go.
It's up. It's up. And it's on. Okay, and then so Hot, do you have just one last piece of advice that you would give? I would say like someone your age, with struggling with maybe some of the same things you struggled with in your past, and you know and trying to find purpose, self, any of those things, God. This just one piece of advice that you would give.
uh, Really, you'll never find the peace that you're looking for, and because everybody in the world, like you can't name one person that's not seeking peace, like whether it's through the sage or whatever, but anything that you're going through in this life, whether it's, anything you seeking, whether it's the women, the money, the fame, whatever, it'll never come unless you got a relationship with God. And the people in your corner that's encouraging you to do bad things, they do not want you to succeed in life. That is not real love. If they love you,
Mm.
they'll tell you to do better. They'll tell you to do better for sure. Like my big brother and them, really in the really in the streets. They run, they blocks and stuff, you know. And I'm thinking like, dang, they don't fool with me for real, but they really love me because they tell me like, go home, like you feel me, like stay out of chaos. My dad, everybody, like you feel me, like tell me like stay out of the hood, stay out of you feel me, go hoop, go
somebody
rap.
that really love you don't want to see you in harm's way. Like I
Yeah.
never brought my people around the game. When I was outside, like people had their little brothers and little cousins out there. No, I'm not bringing. You know, if you my age and you decide you want to hang with me, yeah, you might end up in the hood for sure. But you a grown up. I'm not finna bring no, you know, raise nobody in it.
Right. For real. So that's like, you know, like if you don't got people in your corner, if them people is encouraging you to crash out, like, come on now, and don't take advice from nobody that you don't want to be like.
Ooh, that's a good one.
If he's 50 years old on the same, you feel me, the same black in the same route, he's still trying to thug. Don't take no advice from him. Learn what not to do.
About nothing.
That's what got me far in life too. Learning from people what not to do. Everybody around me, I took it like, okay, I see that. Now let me not do that. You feel me? I made a lot of mistakes, but you feel me? I'm not gonna make that one though, you know? Really create your own wave, bruh. For real. That's really advice to the youth to, you know, create your own wave. And everybody will bring a surfboard.
I love it. I love it. All right, all of you that's watching, make sure you like, love, share this conversation. We need more positive messages, like real experiences, real stories. We need this out there, not the psyop, not the the fake news, and this is some real stuff right here. Like um to see the path that you both have gone on to find self, find God, like this is inspiring. So I'm glad that you were able to join us and share your stories. And we're gonna follow you. Like I said, like you have a fan in me, so I really like your music, and I'm gonna be bumping it, and I'm gonna add it to my gospel playlist because I have I have my playlist that like gets me up every morning and like helps me get my day going. And I have like some Lecrae in there, but I don't have like a lot of like gospel rap in there. Now I do. Now I'm about to add HolyHot to my playlist.
In Jesus' name. Look,
Sure.
I appreciate it.
Okay, well, thank you both so much. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, Nip, like flying down the highway, getting
Man.
here. I don't know how you was texting and driving,
Oh,
but
yeah.
you was in the chat.
Man, look, I be doing everything, shaking and baking, man.
Well, because I show up for you too. Like you had me
Yeah, for
working
sure.
like I was a member of the staff
Oh
for
yeah. Ain't no
necessary,
slouches
unnecessary.
around here. You got you gotta make it shake. But like I said, we do the same, man. You know, we had to move heaven and earth to get here. We made it. I ain't even took my suitcase out the trunk, but
Did you bring back some beignets? Is what I want to know.
no, we ate them
We
all
got
there.
crazy food in the refrigerator right now.
Yeah, I ain't even looked in there. I need a water or something. But yeah, thank you, Smart Love, for having Nip Swag and HolyHot. Check out the Necessary Unnecessary podcast every Thursday. We live. It's up.
Yeah, I'm gonna let y'all know.
And HolyHot, your music is everywhere. Apple Music,
Yeah,
like where?
all platforms. HolyHot. I just dropped Narrow Road. Y'all go stream that. Still healing. Lock in Jesus' name.
All right.
Amen. You've been blessed, Smart Love. We out.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm gonna definitely stay in touch and have you come back on again. I'm thinking about doing something with like the younger generation and like I feel like they need to hear from, people their
Yeah,
own age. So I'm
for
definitely
sure.
going to reach out and, when I get the youth on, have you come and give
Yeah,
them a word.
let me know. I'll pull out my scriptures.
For sure.
Uh, all right, fellas. Well, enjoy the rest of your night. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you, everyone that tuned in. Thank you, everyone that's watched this on a replay. You can leave your questions still in the comments, and we can tag necessary, unnecessary, and podcast, and Nip will get the questions over to HolyHot if you have any. But yeah, this
Send
has
you
been
his
great.
Facebook. He on that thing too.
Yeah, I just
You
got
on
like
Facebook too? Okay.
yeah, what Cam? I'm figuring out how to work it. You know, that's for the OGs, bro. Leave that to y'all, bro. I got on there
It
now.
is not hard to work.
But
Y'all so silly. All
nah, I
right. Well, I'm gonna
appreciate it.
go find your page and follow you.
All right,
All
we
right.
out.
Thank you. Bye.
So.
Did it end? I'm trying to end it. It's not ending. Okay. Bye, everyone. I don't know why you don't want to leave. I don't have anything else to say.